This one is my microphone. Hello, everyone. It is I, your favorite bard, and I've come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I am all out of bubblegum. I want to say hello to Awkward Alien Kayla, and I want to say hello to Sock Goblin Amazing WTF. Thank you guys for being here. And also, I want to introduce you to the people joining me on today's podcast. We have Only You Can Prevent Forest Fires, Dare Bear.
What?
And we are also joined by There Are No Strings on Me, Somber Puppet.
Hi.
And now that we've gotten that weird introduction out of the way, how are you guys doing today?
Why? Is it because it's bear?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm like, don't think too hard about it. That is precisely what it is.
That's pretty surface level.
I was going so hard with trying to figure out why I was Smokey the Bear, apparently.
Oh, you see, we were just talking about smoking, and you are Dare Bear, Smokey the Dare Bear.
Okay, yeah, it works, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, it like exactly. It was just completely surface level. There was absolutely zero depth to that. My brain is scrambled at the moment. So I mean, like,
Only you can prevent forest fires. I'm going to sit over here and work on my Yugioh deck.
Only you can prevent forest fires, and Dare's all like, not I. No.
Oh, well, for a second, I thought you were just referencing Somber killing me with fire.
Well,
and I was like, okay, yeah.
Well, yes. And in regards to that, let's see here. I just kind of want to bring up what we're doing today. We're doing an Overwatch hero tier list. And the reason that that's a great segue is because I was actually going to bring up at some point. Have you noticed that there is no Overwatch hero that has a flamethrower as a weapon? I feel like that's something that's missing.
Yeah, that is something that they don't have.
Yeah,
maybe because too much like Team Fortress 2. I don't know.
Cleanse in holy fire.
Yes. So I just thought it was weird, and I thought I'd bring it up. I'd be like, yeah, please correct me if I'm wrong, but there isn't one who does that. So we already have Saw Goblin saying the Diva is an F tier. I guess we will talk about when we get to her. So you know, we've all played Overwatch for a while there. I tried very hard to get on the radar of Blizzard so that they could sponsor me as a content creator. It never happened because I am trash at this game.
You don't want that sponsorship.
Yeah, no, that's what I hear. I was like, yeah, you don't want that sponsorship because Blizzard is sketchy at best. But that said, you guys you guys play Overwatch. So tell me about your experience with the game. Tell me your highlights and lowest moments, I guess.
Well, I'm an elite MLG gamer, obviously.
Of course.
That's it. I'm just
okay. I was waiting for you to elaborate.
No, there's not too much more than just I'm the best, and you should all sign up for classes on how to play the game.
You do sponsored classes like on what do you call it, Fiverr or something like. Where is it that I've heard about that people are like, oh yeah, if you need game coaching, come subscribe to my course on, and there's a platform for it where a lot of
Game Leap, maybe? No, it's not Game Leap.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about because it's always advertised on like Dota videos and stuff.
Yeah, like, and not just Dota, like there's everywhere. I mean, like freaking the young Trishula on YouTube. So like, oh, you need coaching with Dragon Link? Come sign up for my course. And I was like, I know
Yu-Gi-Oh has the Duel Academy.
That's true.
The professional people
Yeah.
They're like, hey, pay us money and we'll teach you how to play Yu-Gi-Oh slightly worse than what you're already doing.
I mean, Jesse Cotton is on the Duel Academy, and he's done well
Yeah,
in the
he's really
past.
good.
Yeah, so I mean, like it's. I almost want to say like I find it hard to believe that you wouldn't learn something, but
It might not be pertinent information, but it's information nonetheless.
I always feel weird about doing that because like, hey, sometimes I will post something on like subreddits about things that I'm confident about, only to find out that I was grossly mistaken. And
Like
so
overlaying tokens.
yeah, like for example, and you know, like just recently, I posted in the Master Duel subreddit about something that I assumed would allow you to chain block, and oh god, you should have seen the way they tore me down about that. So I'm always like very self-conscious that I'm not as knowledgeable as I think I am. So I feel like if I ever signed up for like Duel Academy, I'd be like, I'm pretty good. I'm just gonna get better, and I just walk away like with my dream shattered. Like I was always so bad, and I just never realized it.
I wasn't even playing the real game.
I'm so bad at Yu-Gi-Oh! It turns out I was playing Vanguard all along.
I just fumble about, and sometimes things work.
Yeah, so that's it. Somber, like, what's your experience with Overwatch here?
I believe, as Donkey said, trying to play that game on your own is expecting a group of 5 idiots to work together and get things done with zero communication whatsoever, and that is completely accurate.
Oh yeah, that is
Playing
that
that game on
is
your
the
own is a
real
nightmare.
struggle.
Playing that game with 2 other people is a nightmare because those 2 other people just make or break it.
I do believe that we've had this conversation before, or at least, you know,
Yeah.
Dare and I probably did, where I said,
It's the same for League, and I've complained about that before too.
yeah, I mean, it is what it is. You know, like, hey, when you're joining a team game, you're kind of expecting that the team's gonna pull their weight, and ooh, I mean, you're in a you're expecting too much of people.
That's why I mainly just play the tanks
Yeah,
instead of the healers, because it's like I will do either try to keep your dumbasses alive as long as I can, or
kinda.
I'm just gonna go in here and just tank shots and do my own thing. It's like the rest of you just do something while I'm distracting them, please.
Yes, and that's kind of what it feels like. Is, you know, like, hey, you know what? If you signed up and you have a good team, you're gonna have a good time. If you log on and your team is just awful, what you signed up for was babysitting, you know. So,
Exactly.
and it's kind of the reason why I also play tank. And you know, like, here's the thing, I find playing tank to be really stressful, but I've gotten good at it.
Yeah.
My preferred role is support. I love playing support. Playing tank, I'll do it because I know how, but I'm always stressed when I'm doing it. So
Lucio's my jam for support. It's like I'm like a little cockroach. I've had a diva chasing me down for like a solid 30 seconds, like completely ignored the rest of what was going on and just zoned in on killing me while I'm ping-ponging off walls, launching myself over buildings.
you know, Lucio is such a fun one. You know, like my absolute
So
favorite
fun.
thing to do with him is just boop people off edges. I mean, that they
Uh-huh.
never see it coming, especially when you're coming from above. It's the best.
Did that 3 times to a Symmetra one game. She had to have not. I'm sure she was not too happy with me.
Yeah. So I mean, like it is what it is. This game is full of like really fun, really memorable characters. Not Zen. But that said, I figure we get into this. We discuss what our experiences are with these guys. We kind of like, you know, share common knowledge and see where if we can place them on some of these ranks. So how about we get started? It looks like we're going alphabetically here. What do you think about Anna?
I don't really like the whole I'm a healer and a sniper with a hitbox of the size of a tree. Um, she takes skill to play, but like,
And that's the problem.
And that's the
yeah,
problem.
and that's the problem. Like it's the whole aiming thing for me is a problem. Overwatch. I like things with splash damage.
Yeah,
So-
same.
Yeah, yeah.
I love. There was a meme that I saw a long time ago, and I think it originated in the Overwatch subreddit where somebody was like, uh, "What's it called? Like support players. Why'd you choose to play support?" And then one of the responses was like, "I can't aim." The second one was like, "I'm scared," and then the third one was like, "I can't aim and I'm scared." And that's
Moira.
Yeah, fair
Just
enough.
play Moira.
so yeah, exactly right. That's why we play heroes who do splash damage. I'm like, I love Reinhardt because I don't have to aim. I just swing in front of me, you know.
Man, I went against a nightmare of a Reinhardt last night.
Yeah, you know, Reinhardt
Just
is one of
like
those
weaving
characters where
through
it's like,
alleyways and buildings and launching us off the edge of the map with just precision every single time.
if you have a Reinhardt that has like a 4-digit IQ, you're gonna lose. There's no question about it. You know, it's just that's the way it goes. Sometimes they can carry an entire game on their own. Uh, with that said, I think Anna is for sure one of those characters that requires a lot of skill to play. However, if you've ever watched like the Overwatch League, people who do support professionally have a tendency to stick to Anna because her healing output is insane. So I don't know if you guys will agree with me on this one. I want to put her in A because I feel like she is a good healer, but not S because I do believe there's a hell of a learning curve there.
Yeah, it's definitely a higher skill gap, but if like you're able to pull it off, then it pays off at least. It's not just you learn this very difficult character for just subpar payoff.
Congratulations, you spent 800 hours on Anna, but Briggs still puts out better healing. Congratulations.
Right. And her sleep dart's really nice too. It's
Oh
like
man,
she's in a position where she can like shut down one of their damage.
I can't tell you
It's like
how many times I've gone to Earth Shatter just to get slept by an Anna. That makes me so mad. It's like I'm like I quit this game. You know, like I've described before. I think it was in our top 10 games list that Dare Gamma and I did, where I said where I expected to put Overwatch higher since I spent so much time playing it. But at the same time, it was like middle of the pack because I was like, I have a love-hate relationship with Overwatch where I love this game, but oh my gosh, sometimes I hate it so much. And Anna is one of those reasons because I hate going to ult only to get slept. I'm like, I hate her so much.
I was playing healer yesterday. I had an Anna. She popped. It was a team fight was going on. I was sitting in the back. She pokes her head out from a corridor, puts me to sleep, and then goes back to healing her team. So I have to sit there and watch my entire team get stomped, and then have the hamster land on my head. It's like
the best thing you can do whenever you get slept by Anna is you know what's it called is
Pray.
the best thing you could do is hope that her team isn't smart and one of them shoots you to wake you up. You know?
No, they saved me for last. It was
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, like a good team who sees an Anna land asleep will leave you the heck alone because they know you are not an issue. It is wild. And Brother Gamma in the in the chat says, I don't know anything about this, so could you describe Anna in terms of Yu-Gi-Oh? She's skill drain if skill drain gave you life points.
I think we're familiar with that kind of setup, Kim.
Yeah. So it's just like you know, she's like if skill drain and solemn wishes just joined forces, you know, it's just here you go, keep healing but your opponent can do nothing. So that's exactly what she is. Moving on, we got another sniper coming up. This is Ashe. What do you guys feel about Ashe?
I was really excited when they put Ashe in the game, and then really disappointed when I was found out she's another sniper that requires skill to like her whole combo of throwing the dynamite and then you have to shoot it to like do big AoE damage over time. It's like that's cool. I can't do it, but it's cool.
Mm. Yeah.
And then yeah, that she I've played her like twice.
I didn't know she was a sniper. I've never played her. I've never
Yeah,
really seen
so
one.
she's a DPS, and she's got like a rifle that can be used as a sniper rifle, or you could just use it as regular, like think McCree with a less fast gun is basically what she is. She still puts out a hell of a lot of damage, you know. She's got that precision scope in case you want to fire from far away, and her dynamite attack it does pretty decent AoE damage. And if you happen to survive it, you're on fire for a few seconds, so you keep taking chip damage.
Oh no.
So she's fun, and I'll put it to you this way: she's the reason I got back into the game after I got out of the game the first time. So I was like, oh, this looks like a fun character. I came back, like there was an artist who I know who may or may not do a certain R-related type of art who put out an Ashe drawing, and I was like, she looks amazing. I'm going to go play this game again.
So what I'm getting is, if you want to get Bard to play a game, you just have to draw some like lewd artwork.
Oh, dude, Genshin has my number. It is like,
well, I guess now we know why he plays Tri Brigade, huh?
Yeah, you know it. But anyway, hey Pimp Demon, we are ranking Overwatch characters. And so far we've gotten through Ana, the first sniper in the game, only to immediately land on Ashe, the second sniper in the game. But that said, yeah, no, Genshin Impact has my number. I mean, like, I almost think that they're doing it on purpose. That they are paying artists so that, like people like me will come play their game.
And apparently it's working.
I haven't downloaded it yet, so it's not working yet. I'm like, no, I know what you're doing. Sooner or later, though, they will get me. That said, so yeah, Ashe is a fun character. I tried to learn the hit scan so that I could play Ashe more proficiently, and I'm not good. So I moved away from Ashe relatively quickly. I tried, but every now and then you'll get some wins just off of the chip damage from the dynamite.
So I would probably put Ashe at like maybe a B tier.
Yeah, I mean, like I would agree with a B tier. Like she's fun, like it's just she's got some decent range play. I mean, it's just like if you're gonna play sniper, just play Widow, Although I would say that Widow probably, I would say Widow probably has a higher skill ceiling, so that's something to consider.
She's got the mobility too to get out, actually.
Yeah, true. Well, I mean, Ashe does too. She has kind of like this second. It's like a skill that's on a cooldown. Is the coach gun, as they call it, which basically is a little sawed-off shotgun. Which when she fires it, it has such immense kickback that if you fire it at an opponent, it'll knock them back. But if you fire it at the ground, it'll launch you up.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So I mean, she has some escape ability. It's not great, but it's there.
It's like the there's a gun in Team Fortress 2 for the scout that does that.
Yeah, but basically.
It's almost like Overwatch copied TF2.
You hear a lot of things, but here we are. Anyway, Baptiste. Baptiste, I will say, is one of my three mains. I absolutely love playing Baptiste. He is so much fun. He has such a high amount of burst healing that he can do. And he's got some real decent, escape ability with his high jump. I think his immortality field is probably one of the best abilities in the game. And I love it whenever I hear an opponent just launch, like, say, for example, like a Junkrat ultimate, or like I hear Reaper start to go off, and I just drop the immortality field, and literally all of their kills are just null. I'm like, that is the most fun ever. So that's me with Baptiste. What do you guys think?
He's, I think, arguably one of the better healers, even in like the competitive realm of the game. Just I don't know if they've changed anything on Overwatch 2, but like you said, having the immortality field, having just an AoE healing, his ultimate's really good with the damage buff.
Oh yeah.
He is very good healer boy.
And not just the damage buff, but also his healing takes a buff if you fire it through his ultimate. So, you know, like in worst case scenario, you're losing a team fight, but you still have your ult. Instead of like boosting their damage, launch the ultimate behind them and start firing your healing through it, and it'll keep them alive like something fierce.
I've actually not really ran into this guy before, and I haven't unlocked him yet in 2 yet.
Oh wait, he's behind a paywall in 2? What?
Oh no, you gotta do the challenges.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, it's like you gotta
I
do certain things to unlock characters, and then it's like play this minigame to unlock this one, and this minigame to unlock this one, and it's like
yeah,
it's free, but you just gotta play their game.
right. I personally think that he's one of the better healers. Like whenever I landed in the support role and I was like, yeah, this is where I like to be, I would kind of shift between Brig and Mercy until they released Baptiste, at which point he became basically like my go-to. You know, like am I going to play healer in this game? I'm playing Baptiste. That's basically the way I roll. Unless, you know, we're in tight spaces and we need more more like, you know, more AoE healing, in which case I'll probably go with Brig because, you know, her passive is just really, really good. But yeah, I think Baptiste is freaking amazing. I would say probably S, because on top of like just being really good at healing, he's super easy to learn. So
Yeah, I'll agree with S tier. Like as a support, he gives everything that your team needs.
yeah.
So like the damage buff, the healing, and the immortality is really, really good.
Yeah. And on top of that, you know, his primary fire isn't so bad. It does decent damage. And if you're good at aiming, which I'm not, you can get a few kills. But I usually just use it to, you know, like whenever I see like a tank poking their head out of a corner, you know, because I'm like those are hard targets to miss. So I'll just shoot them and leave the minutia to the rest of the team. But yeah, that's Baptiste. Here's one that everybody knows, everybody loves or hates. I mean, it really depends on what end of this one you are on. But Bastion, what do you guys feel about Bastion?
I want to say S tier because of the recent glitch with his new ult.
Oh, there's a glitch. Oh, yeah, there is, isn't there?
Where he's supposed to only get 3 shots, but he just gets all of the shots. And it's just like a mortar gun on crack, raining hell down from the skies. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to say he's probably a B tier. Like, just because the community hates him doesn't mean he's not good. Like, I don't know what he does in Overwatch 2, but having a self-heal, having a turret mode.
They removed the self-heal from him in Overwatch 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't heal yourself.
I'm going off of Overwatch 1 because I've not even touched Overwatch 2 yet.
Dude,
so I don't know anything other than the fact that his new ult makes him turn into a mortar gun and it's glitched, so he just shoots a billion shots.
Yeah.
But he's like super high DPS. He at one time had a heal. He originally had a shield along with a heal.
I remember the shield that was that's like the people saying like, "Hey, give Reinhardt a gun, you cowards."
Make Reinhardt's like hammer also just have landmines attached to it.
I think he's currently disabled, so they might be trying to
yeah, that's right. They did mention that they were going to have like their first patch. And yeah, that was one of the things that supposedly they disabled Bastion for it. So I was like, huh, interesting.
And my buddy was playing him the other day, and he didn't know about the new ult.
Mhm.
So it's like he's inside a building, like in a choke point. Then he's gotta sit there and just start blowing people up as they walk by. And I switch to the mortar mode, it just blows the hell out of himself.
Oh, that's wild. But yeah, Bastion. There's really not a lot that goes into Bastion. It's basically point and shoot. He's about
Yeah.
as simple as you can get. Um, and he shoots quite a bit. So I mean, if you know your positioning well, you can be very rewarded with like just infinite amounts of kills because like I found that like the most annoying bastions are never the ones that position themselves out in the open. The most annoying bastions are always the ones that know exactly how to get into that one little corner where he's just difficult enough to reach, but he can see
The
you.
payload on El Dorado.
Yeah, but he can see you just fine. So like it's just I hate him. But I would say yeah, definitely like a B, like a middle of the road. He's easy to
Alright.
learn. He does a lot of stuff, and for a lot of people, he's very very fun. Um,
He's easy to get the hang of, very
yeah.
high damage output, but at the
Oh
same
yeah.
time doesn't provide much else.
Oh
So
no, he is a
like,
one trick pony.
yeah, it's
At the
one
same time, just hated by the community.
yeah, no one
Oh
likes him.
yeah, like nobody likes Bastion. Uh, I mean, unless you're a Bastion player, in which case, you will talk Bastion like up and down. Like, hey, Bastion's perfect. He requires skill. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Stop saying he doesn't require skill. He does require skill. But coming up next, we have Brigitte, who is basically Reinhardt Jr.
I don't really like melee heroes. I don't really like melee combat. Brigitte is a melee hero. So there's that.
Rather hide in your corner with your pew pew and just
I'd rather hide in my corner with my pew pew.
Why is there a hammer hero in my pew pew game?
She does have really good healing, and
Yeah.
her ultimate is really good for like team fighting. But I don't like I don't like melee combat, so it's
I liked her during the era when she first came out, and she was absolutely busted because nobody was prepared for her to be that good. She had like a shield with like 500 hit points, which is like two tracers put together, basically. Uh, she had a just insane area, like AOE healing every time she landed a hit, right? So when you're in a team fight and your team is clustered together, I mean, you're healing all of them every time you smack into somebody. It's beautiful. And yeah, Rally on top of like providing, additional health does provide you with movement speed as well. So it's like combining Lucio's speed boost with like his passive healing also.
and she's got that whip shot to displace them if like you want to get somebody out of your team's face.
Oh, yeah.
Just swat them into the back line.
My favorite thing with Brig, like that I accomplished once, because after Ashe, she became my main, basically, right? And my favorite thing that I ever did was there was a Pharah who was ulting, and she was very high up, and I whip shotted her out of the sky. I was like, take that. That felt good. I was very proud of myself for that. I think I have it recorded somewhere. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, I think she's a decent healer. The one thing that I would like argue about her is that sometimes it doesn't feel like she's a healer at all. It almost feels like she's another DPS.
Yeah,
well, does she heal or does she give armor? I don't remember.
Armor.
she heals.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
her passive does that, but like her repair kits, those give armor, right?
Well, that's I couldn't remember if they gave health or if they gave armor.
It heals.
Okay.
Okay.
It heals them for a short duration. Yeah.
It's like old Torbjorn that just throw like packs of armor down on the ground.
Yeah, they took that away. I was really confused. I thought I was misremembering something.
I feel
No,
like
see,
they
that's
took
the
it away.
greatest thing about Torb was you could like play payload and just run and just keep throwing the armor down in front of you while running around the payload and just infinitely stay alive. It's like
Yeah.
this is great.
Torb is so much fun still. I still enjoy playing Torb, I'm not gonna lie.
Turn Overwatch with the tower defense. It's great.
Yeah. But what tier do you think we could give Brig here? I think as a healer, she's fine. She was part of the infamous what was it, GOAT format, which was what was it, 3 tanks and 3 healers. This is before they instilled the rule of 2 tanks, 2 healers, 2 damage every time.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Was it called Goat?
I think they called it GOAT. Yeah, I'm pretty
Maybe.
positive. Yeah. GOAT format in Overwatch, it was that one.
It would have placed higher, but apparently she's gotten a lot of nerfs since the.
Oh yeah, man, they nerfed her
Out,
into
and
the
it's like,
ground.
I've not seen her. The only one I've seen play since I've been playing Overwatch 2, like, did nothing. It was like she was standing in front of her team trying to block shots with her shield, but then somebody just zips behind, blows them all up, and she just kind of had nothing to do.
Yeah, and that's one thing to be said about like Overwatch is that a lot of the times a hero is only as good as the player that's playing it, you know?
Yeah.
So I mean, like it that is kind of a thing. That said, I would say it's a weird thing for me because I feel like now she probably does fall kind of like into a C rank, maybe like a low B. But initially when she first came out, she was an S tier, like no question. I mean, because like,
Well, if we can't really do that because if we're gonna look at initially when the heroes came out, we're gonna have everyone in
Oh, I
S
was gonna
tier.
be an S tier.
yeah,
Because
like you
Blizzard
remember
is horrible at balancing their
Her old
characters.
Roadhog, go in there with his ult and mulch the team.
I was gonna, you guys
Now
remember
it's just
original
helping them a
Mercy
little.
with the super res.
Yeah, just everybody's back.
Everybody's
Your
back.
team never dies.
No.
It's like, hey, I heard you guys like the way this fight went, so here, do it all over again. Like, I hate this.
Let's try that again, guys. Regroup.
I miss the old play of the games where it's just a Mercy that like flies underneath like Elios's map or whatever, reses the whole team and then dies to like environmental damage.
Yeah. So I'm comfortable with putting Brig at a low B for that, you know, because as she stands now, she's okay. She's not great. I remember the days when she was like, yeah, wow, like there's a reason that she was nerfed like 6 times, like right after release, you know, because it was like they couldn't figure out, okay, well, what do we do to break her? Because she is way too strong, and everything we do just doesn't seem to do enough. So yeah, I mean,
that's the thing that bugs me about the way that they balance these kind of games. It's like they'll release a hero or like a legend or something,
Mhm.
and it's like it's so like overkitted. The stats are absurd for one reason or another.
Mhm.
And then it's like, oh, okay. It's like, well, we're gonna do this. Have everybody buy it because everybody's gonna want to play it because this is
Oh
going to
yeah,
absolutely stomp everyone. And then we're
absolutely.
going to gut it in like a month. And then we're going to gradually build it back up to at a halfway point to where it's playable again. But it's going to completely lost relevance and nobody's going to want to play it except for the very small group of people that are wanting to do something off meta.
Yeah, everybody at what's it called, r/Brig mains.
Yeah.
Like those guys were still like, yeah, you know, she's still great. We you know, Brig, awesome. But yeah, everyone else is like, yeah, we've moved on. So next up we have the boy himself, the man who has too many names to count at this point. Originally,
He has one name, and you know his one name.
Originally Jesse McCree, then Jesse McLeod, and now what is it, Cole Cassidy or something?
He's just Cassidy.
Just Cassidy.
Jesse McDonald's sponsored.
The man whose watch is stuck at high noon.
It's high noon somewhere in the world.
That I think that's one of his voice lines, actually. So
yeah, McCree
Mhm.
is probably one of my favorite DPS. I'm not good at him, but there's nothing more satisfying than having his ult and just like getting a full team wipe off of it.
Because you don't have to aim.
Yeah, because you don't have to aim.
Yeah, that him and the soldier, the best ults in the game. Prove me wrong.
Like the two DPSs whose ults is you don't have to aim anymore have the best ults in the game.
But like, there's videos of people who like it's high noon is a phrase that strikes fear in everyone's heart.
Mhm.
And I've seen people who like get that on a soundboard, go into a game of Overwatch, and they'll play that and just watch their teammates scatter looking for cover. It's amazing. I love McCree so much. He's a great hero.
Yeah, High Noon has become the meme.
I was one of the last games I saw McCree, and it was like I heard it's high noon. It's like, oh god, where is he? I was looking around. I see him up on a staircase directly in front of me, looking dead at me. It's like, oh shit.
But I guess it is high noon, huh?
I guess so. Well, I'll be damned.
One of the fun things that I've seen with McCree, and this is less with the character and more with the voice actor Matt Mercer, is that he has on occasion, I think on streams, joined a game playing McCree in McCree voice on the voice chat. And it's just been like kind of hilarious because you hear the other players on the voice chat like, wait, what is happening?
Well, he got with like the voice actor of Lucio, Roadhog, and Torbjorn, and they were all playing in like a lobby and like talking in their voices to the other like two random people, and they were all just like freaking out about it. Plus, like for their like Halloween episodes of Critical Role, I know in the past he's dressed up as McCree for his DMing, and it's just like, please say the thing at least once.
Yeah,
he says it, and you're like, yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's wonderful whenever you get that, and like his voice is like instantly recognizable. Like for what's it called? For example, yesterday when I was watching Cyberpunk Edge Runners, I'll never love again. By the way, there's a character called Falco who's basically like a Texas guy, and he's voiced by Matt Mercer. So like the moment he speaks, I was like, McCree? It's just kind of like,
McCree's in Cyberpunk?
Is it high noon?
I was like, well, would you look at the time? I guess it's high noon.
It's gotta have at least one thing, and there's like, it's 12 o'clock.
No, it's a shame because I absolutely would have been like, you know what? I'm rewriting the script specifically for this reason. I'm like,
we got Matt Mercer as this dude. We need to have at least one high noon joke.
Like, why wouldn't you? So it's just, it was fun. The Cyberpunk Edge Runners has ruined my emotions forever. I mean, that's all I gotta say. But that said, I think McCree, there's a reason that season after season in competitive Overwatch, in the Overwatch League, or OWL, if you will, a lot of DPS players main McCree, and that's because his burst damage is insane. And like if you know the intricacies of playing McCree, you're just gonna pop off every time. Like if you're good at aiming, if you know how to compensate for the kickback of his gun, which it has a ridiculous kickback, it's almost like you have to aim slightly lower than where you want to hit, so that when you shoot, the kickback will just like put it precisely where you meant for it to go. But yeah, all
CSGO would have a good time with him.
Well, yeah.
They understand the way the kickback works.
Not gonna lie, I just play McCree so I can roll around on the ground.
That's the most terrifying thing, is seeing a split-second flash across the ground before you get hit in the face with the flashbang and get your
Oh
head
God, the
cracked open.
flashbang. Like I'm always like, yeah, here I'm doing fine here. What was that? Flashbang. Oh no.
Well, I'm dead.
Yeah, because
While it lasted.
what follows after that flashbang is always like the like the fan the hammer where he just shoots you 9 times and you're 9 times with a 6-shooter and then
Not
you're
time
down.
for 6-shooter.
Yeah, so
You like shove a couple extra bullets in some of those chambers.
yeah, that's right. You could double up in some of them. So I mean that's it.
Load a cigar.
Look, I'm not good at DPS by any stretch of the imagination. Even so, I love McCree as a character. I think, A rank at the very least, S rank at the very most,
Yeah, I'd say he's maybe better than Ana, but he's not better than Baptiste. So
Yeah. Because I feel like this is something that's going to come up with a lot of DPS players is that they provide one specific function, whereas I feel like support generally provides multiple functions a lot of the time. Tanks, ever since they changed up the system so that now instead of having 2 tanks you have 1, I feel like they're going to come into multiple functions as well, but that remains to be seen. So how you guys feel about Doomfist?
I know he was a menace when he first came out, but he's another one of those I've not seen in a long time.
I know that they changed him from being a tank to they changed him from being a DPS to a tank, right?
Yeah, he's a tank now. Correct.
Yeah.
And he like does a bunch of punching and jumping around and stuff. That's I've like played him like 2 times and I was like, this is not my hero. I don't want to play this.
I think people would be appalled if someone named Doomfist did a lot of kicking.
This is Doomfist. He kicks a lot. What? Sorry, run that one by me one more time. Oh, it's crazy.
I do like that he has a Loch Ness monster skin that makes him a Loch Ness monster dude.
Yeah, he's like a creature from the Black Lagoon. Yeah.
Oh, it's nice.
Other than that, yeah, it's like I don't play Doomfist. I don't really care for his play style of. He's basically a melee hero again.
He's like a tank Genji. He just rush into their entire
He's a
team
tank
and just
Genji.
start pummeling people.
And I do have to give it to Blizzard's design team for this one. That flavor-wise, this is a really interesting character because they designed him to resemble a fighting game character. So if you know his combos, you can do very well with Doomfist. However, it feels counterintuitive to put a character with combos inside of an FPS. So
yeah, I don't know how to do combos in fighting games. I don't want to have to know how to do combos in an FPS game.
Oh yeah, no, if there's one type of game that I'm worse at than an FPS, it's fighting games. I am trash at fighting games.
Yeah, I'm not so great there.
I've only been good at one, and that was like Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm, and that's because it almost didn't feel like a fighting game to me. But that being said, Doomfist, a fighting game character inside of Overwatch, a first-person shooter, feels awkward. And what feels even more awkward is how people who play DPS are so good with him that it almost feels like he belongs precisely in this game. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, at least he has like, to kind of him being able to get close. He does have that shield that he can, or that. Yeah, he has like a frontal shield, so he can actually get in close without getting gunned down before he even.
Oh yeah, and his mobility is it's just off the charts.
Yeah, like he can. Yeah, disrupt the team like
with his charged up punch. I mean, he could just like 1 second be here, next second be right on the end and right across the map, and like with his leaps and stuff, he's all over the place. He's hard to catch. That said, I'm a little upset that he doesn't have a voice line that says "You've been feasted," but that's just me. Um,
I think they have to like leave that kind of stuff out because it's I don't think that's appropriate to say lines like that.
what? It's like it's
This is
because
a
he's
kids game.
Doomfist. He's
It's a
Doomfist.
kids game.
The
He's
internet says otherwise, there.
he's punching people in the face. Yeah, I know. How long did it take the data miners to get their hands on the models, man? I'm like, that was fast.
Did you see the Blizzard's like, if we catch anybody making any like explicit artwork of our characters, you are going to be sued.
I'm like, bro, this is the reason I started playing again. Just let them do it.
Yeah, it's
And
like
the
this is
internet's
either
just
going
like,
to yeah, that's right. This is either going to completely kill the community, or they're going to see that as a challenge, and it is going to be a wave.
Yep. So, Doomfist
and
for
it
me.
literally looked at them and
They
said, "You
can't
can't
sue
sue
all
us
of
all."
us.
It's the what's it called, Area 51 Naruto run thing all over again. They can't
Uh-huh.
catch us all.
Catch us all.
That's a Doomfist. I think is a C. He's hard.
Yeah.
He's hard to learn. I mean, he's got a great payoff if you can learn him, but the learning curve is so oppressive. You know that it's like I could spend an equal amount of time, say, learning somebody like Roadhog and just get exactly as much out of him. You know. So I think C. What do you guys think?
Yes, he's fair.
Sounds about right.
Okay, so now the reason that they can't sue us all, Diva.
Speaking of which,
Diva is like, I can't say she's my favorite tank, but like just like the lore behind her of being like an ex-Korean video game prodigy is something that I really love about her.
Yes.
Like, I don't know if you know this, but like whenever she has her defense matrix up,
Mhm.
every one of the like things that's going out, she's like individually like tapping the screen to like negate the bullets
Oh yeah.
with the defense matrix.
It was something that I learned a while ago that supposedly, you know, like, yeah, she's just that dexterous. So when the defense matrix is up, she's literally taking each shot into consideration and just nullifying it by knocking it out of the air. And I was like, what? That's crazy.
And it's not cross promotion, but she was a Korean StarCraft player, I
Yeah.
think is what her lore is. So
Yeah.
it's, hey Blizzard, what's that other game that you made? Oh, StarCraft? Okay. There you go.
Yeah. Blizzard is not subtle.
She has probably some of the best skins in the game too. I like the police outfit Diva, where her mech is just like a police car.
My personal favorite is definitely the one where she's a bumblebee and it's called Biva.
You were either gonna say that or the Catgirl one, and I was prepared for both.
The Catgirl one is my wife's favorite. My wife is a Diva main, by the way. Well, actually, she's a Sen main now, but she started off as a Diva main. So you know the Catgirl one, that's her favorite. But yeah, for me, it's the pun. The pun will always take it.
Diva is just a nuisance.
Agreed.
It's like she doesn't provide her team much in the way of benefits aside from just being a problem that can just hit a button and just atomize an entire team.
Yeah,
I'm going to fly directly into your team and then shoot a bunch of rockets into your face and then fly away and then fly back.
Yeah, it's like anytime I see play the game and it's Diva, it's like, oh, I wonder what she did.
Yeah, she just blew up. And that's the crazy thing is that, you know, like, you can turn on the thrusters from across the stage and launch the bomb. I'm like,
yes.
What? That drives me nuts. I'm like, why? But it's something you can do. You can absolutely do that. So it's just, but tank-wise, I mean, like, the defense matrix does a lot.
It does.
The problem that I'm running into here is that, oh, by the way, that defense matrix can eat other ultimates. So there's
That's the best thing. The amount of times I've seen a diva like eat a Zarya ult or a Hanzo ult is just, it's like, what are you going to do now? Well, do you just have to like quit the game? Just leave.
you just leave.
You can't. You just got outplayed in 4D chess.
Yeah, and it sucks when it happens, but if you're that skilled with a diva that you can just like read it when your opponent telegraphs the ultimate, it's a huge payoff. So I think as a tank, she definitely earns the title of like an off tank because her main goal isn't to prevent you from taking fire. Her main goal is to just dislocate the enemy team so that they can't keep shooting you, you know? So
Like the discombobulate meme where it's the guy just like repeatedly getting punched in the head.
Left hook. Discombobulate.
yes, Sherlock Holmes, Robert Downey Jr. But I think that she's really good at that. I would put her at an A.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd say
definitely goes
she's
up there.
Yeah.
by McCree. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely better than Anna, but yeah, that she's just really good at her role. Like she's not.
But the artwork puts her up in an S.
They know what they're doing. It's like Lux in League of Legends.
Yeah, it's like it's like
that's
look,
the moneymaker right there.
Is it look? I always felt like it was a Kali or Ari. Like I feel like those two just like
they've gone up there.
Every time that you print a new Akali or Ari skin, you're just printing money for yourself. It's what you're doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, Diva definitely good at what she do. Artwork is S rank. We continue on with Echo. Echo being one of the newer heroes just prior to the release of Overwatch 2.
I don't understand how Robot Fly Girl works. I just know that she shoots things and then they blow up.
So Echo serves the purpose of a tank buster. And basically she's got like a skill that is like sticky bombs that will, like, if you have your shield up, they'll stick to the shield, and then when it explodes, it'll just burn the shield. She also has another ability that basically does more damage the more damage you've taken. So it kind of like exponentially deals damage. So if you're below so much health, it's going to hit you for a lot more. And the idea behind it is it's meant to capitalize on a tank's lack of mobility so that you can get around them and just kind of like be obnoxious until they're dead.
So you're saying that she flies around and shoots things?
Basically. She's like Pharah with better mobility.
Easy S tier then.
I
don't need a reason.
I would have to agree with you, and like Sombra, you can back me up on this one, but I would have to agree with you more so because her ultimate is the most annoying thing in the freaking game.
You don't have to back him up on this, by the way, Sombra. You can fully disagree with him and tell him that he's wrong and that his opinion's trash.
I mean, her ult is like, I don't want to buy that character. I'm just gonna take it from you.
Yeah, that is the most obnoxious ult, because what she does is she copies what is it, an opponent's character, right?
Yeah, and they can't switch whenever she's
and they can't switch whenever she's copied them, right? But here's the caveat. It would be bad enough if you copy the enemy's, like, say, I don't know, Diva, right? Except that whenever she copies an opponent's character, she has accelerated ult charge. So she'll be able to pull off a Diva bomb, like, if you're a good Echo, you'll be able to pull off a Diva bomb like 4 times before your ult runs out. It is the stupidest thing, and I'm like, I hate it so much because it's like, you hear her ult, and she's like, oh, now copying Diva. And so now it's like, man, we're about to get bombed like 4 different times. I feel it. That's it. It does require a little bit of skill because, you can shoot Echo out of her ult. But so an Echo player has to be good at whatever character she's copying. Otherwise, you just copy them for no reason.
You just hear nerf this followed by nerf this.
Basically,
You don't know where to run because now there's 2 mechs that are about to explode in your face.
Yeah, so it's pretty bad, and like they can like, so the most annoying ones that I've ever seen is definitely like, okay, she copies Diva, now we're gonna get Diva bombed, or she copies Reaper, so there's gonna be like 4 Death Blossoms going off, or in the worst case scenario, if she copies somebody like, I don't know, like Brig or Lucio, right? When they already have the advantage, and just gets that ult charge all the way up, and now they have extra advantage because now they have like that support ult going off, or my personal favorite, here's here's Echo, copy the enemy Ana, and then you get slept, and then she like nanos somebody. It's just, I don't know, I feel like her ult is really frustrating to deal with. But like I said, like, it comes with the caveat that the Echo player has to be good at the other character that they're copying too.
Switching to somebody and they have absolutely no clue what they're doing. Just a waste of...
This is the reason why I don't play the random heroes mode. Like the mystery heroes, because every now and then it'll drop you into somebody like, I have no idea how to play Roadhog. I'm like, this was a bad idea. Who made me Roadhog? This is bad. So I don't know. I think Echo has a lot of reward for what she can do as the DPS. I mean, she's interesting. I would put her top of B.
I'd say you could put her behind Ana.
She is behind Ana. Oh, you mean in front of Ana?
No, you said top of B.
Yeah, top
right?
of B. Yeah.
So I'm saying behind Ana in A.
Oh, behind Ana in A. Okay. How do you guys feel about Genji?
Melee hero, need healing. I don't like him. F tier.
So
I'm a support main. So like the worst thing you can do is play Genji and just spam "I need healing" every 20 seconds, and that's the meme with him. So everyone does that with him.
I just gotta throw this out there. So I don't know, like, if this is probably just a me thing. If Helix was here, he'd back me up. But I've gone to see Overwatch games live, like the Overwatch League, right? And one of the most hilarious things that happened was one time they were doing a giveaway at one of these live events, right? And the MC gets up and he's basically like, "Hey, we're giving away Overwatch merch. So let's see here. Like, who wants the Brig T-shirt? Okay, here you go. Like, who wants like, I don't know, like, just whatever. Like the Hanzo statue. Okay, well, here you go." And then they pick up the replica Genji sword and they're like, "Who needs healing?" And I'm like, God.
And then everybody got kicked out of the arena.
It was a thing, man. I was like, wow, yeah. That was good. I wasn't expecting that, and I laughed. But yeah, so I don't know. Genji's cool.
Genji can be annoying.
Genji can be annoying. He's
if you know what you're doing, you can rip a team apart.
You absolutely can. A good Genji is like. I think Genji and Tracer are on a league of their own, because if you know how to play those characters, you can destroy a team. Let's see. Genji in particular, his oldest.
I'm sticking with D tier on Genji. Like he does damages, but he needs too much healing.
He is a squishy hero, yes. He does require healing quite a bit. Unless you're a good Genji, in which case they'll never catch you.
Most Genjis need a butt buddy, though.
Most Genjis do need like a pocket mercy or a butt buddy, yes. So I think, yeah, like definitely like a C tier. Not because Genji's a bad character, but because people who play Genji think they're good at Genji, but they're not.
Looking at you, Somber.
I'm not touch that character for your information there.
Same. At first, I was like, Robot
I'm not going to
Ninja.
make a fool of myself.
Robot Ninja's so cool, but I would have played Tracer first because she's the character on the face of the game, right? And then, like, immediately I was like, oh, it's this kind of game where it's really hard. I better not touch the Robot Ninja. I'm going to look like an idiot. Yeah, so next up we have Wrecking Ball.
Hamtaro.
Hamtaro.
I like on Li Zhang, you could just like grapple the middle pillar and just swing around indefinitely.
Oh, you're one of those people.
It is horrifying seeing that giant metal sphere just orbiting above your head.
It is a pendulum of death.
You never know when it's going to fly off and just crush your spine.
And for a tank, he has the unique, I would say, like descriptor that he's a very mobile tank. You know, like I'd say second probably only to Diva, and the only reason for that is that Diva can fly and he can't. But freaking might as well sometimes, the way that these guys can just like grapple onto something and just like climb walls and stuff.
Falling with style.
His ultimate's also like super, super good for point defense.
Agreed.
Just going in and saying,
Great minds.
hey, here's 1,000 mines all over the point. Good luck.
Make McCree feel like he's starring in the next Indiana Jones movie.
Yes. Oh, but like freaking, damn it. Freaking Wrecking Balls. Like, oh, is this where you want to be? Oh, I'm sorry. I dropped all my bombs on there, bruh. You could still be on there if you want. So that's one. I'm pretty comfortable with putting Wrecking Ball like in an A tier.
Yeah, he good.
He good.
Hamster boy good.
I'm gonna put him behind Diva just because Diva still has like she can fly, and also her bomb arguably does more and is a little harder to dodge because you can launch it. So you have to see it coming.
His Halloween skin is awesome too. It's just his ball.
Isn't it just like a giant pumpkin?
Yeah, and he's a little gremlin sitting inside of it.
Yes, he's got some a pretty cool skin in that. My personal favorite is definitely the submarine though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, look at him. He's dressed like a little submarine captain.
A little mustache.
All right, next up, if you guys, if you haven't yet, you can wash your hands over here because the next character is Hanzo.
Boo. Hanzo was really good when his arrows were basically the equivalent of shooting a tree at somebody.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about them fixing the hitbox on his arrows. It was fun when it was just like you're running around shooting sequoias at people and just getting headshots whenever you're not even aiming at their head. And then they changed. He doesn't know how to do simple geometry anymore.
Nope.
Like they took his high school degree away.
Yeah, the scatter arrows were definitely like one of the most useful parts of his kit up until they took those away.
Just you know that there's a guy in like a small room. And it's just simple geometry, and then you get easy +1 kill because you just shot one arrow that exploded into 10 and just like destroyed this dude. His ult's probably one of the coolest ults. Just shooting a giant dragon and or wolf, depending on the skin you have.
I have issues with Genji, Hanzo, and Kiriko's ults, and we'll get into that whenever we get to Kiriko. But yeah, no, it definitely looks cool.
And if you got a choke point,
yeah.
You can flush it out, no problem. But
yeah,
until you get to that point, it's kind of it's a little dodgy.
You could, if you know where they're standing and you just like, which by the way, positioning yourself with Hanzo is really easy since he can climb walls. But like if you know where they are and they can't see you, you can catch them off guard with that ult.
Just yes.
Easy peasy, just
Easy
boom.
peasy. My buddy got a play of the game the other night as him. It was like, what could you have possibly done? The entire clip, just the dramatic music playing, is him taking pot shots at a Pharah flying through the sky. He misses like 9 shots and hits a headshot with like the last arrow. And that was the play of the game.
It would have been great if it like ended with him taunting after doing that. Just so like just all of that, it's like, yeah, I'm good.
Like, miss 9 shots, land the 10th. It's like simple geometry. I was like, it's not so simple, buddy.
That's like me playing Apex. It is like the final squad. Like my buddies got the guy and killed him. I run up just in time to throw the salt shaker hologram on top of their death box. Did not contribute to the final kill at all.
Oh man, it's wonderful. But so I think Hanzo's pretty decent. He's a little harder to learn as far as DPS goes because like he's not a hit scan. He's kind of one of those like projectile type heroes. So
Yeah.
there's a little bit of an arc to his fire.
He's definitely one of those that's like if you know how to play him, like you can tear people up, but it's like until you learn how the arrows work, and it's like
Yeah.
he's not gonna do much good for you.
I want to put
he
him. Sorry, what was that there?
He actually takes like a little bit of skill now to use since he doesn't shoot sequoias out of his bow.
Yeah. I want to put him above Genji for sure because, like, firstly, like Genji, people who play Hanzo usually think they're better at Hanzo than they are. However, you don't see as many Hanzos as you do Genjis. So, and, he's got some good utility with, like, his arrow that allows you to see through walls. And, his ultimate's really cool. You get some pretty good utility out of a Hanzo, especially since they can also position themselves in, like, hard-to-reach places with their wall climbing.
Hey, wasn't the whole lore with Hanzo and Genji that Hanzo shot one of his scatter arrows into Genji's chest, just like blew his body apart?
Yeah, like Hanzo. So according to the lore, there was like a falling out because something. Genji was bringing shame to the family because he was kind of like not like criminally minded. He was just kind of like a spoiled rich kid, basically. And the family was like super traditional. So the family basically gave Hanzo an ultimatum, like, "Hey, get your brother in line or get him gone." And so Hanzo shot Genji and killed him. I don't know if there was a scatter arrow involved, but it wouldn't surprise me considering how much is left of Genji.
Yeah, I think that's why it's like he's that entire suit that Mercy made for was like the only thing keeping him going. So
Yeah.
his body just like got blown apart.
I do have to say this. So, like, I'm a huge fan of like the Overwatch cinematics. Like every now and then they'll release like a cinematic to introduce a new hero or to introduce a new map or to introduce new lore. And the one for Hanzo and Genji, I forget what the name of it is. I think it was like Dragons or something. And
Dragons or something like that.
yeah, it's that's exactly what it's called, Dragons or something, featuring Genji and Hanzo. But like the whole cinematic, it's like a 10-minute thing. It's just Hanzo, like being deeply repentant because he allowed himself to fall so deep in the family that he had to kill his brother. He's just like, I'm a bad man. I've done bad things. I killed my brother. And then Genji shows up. And he's like, "Brother, I'm alive." And he's like, "Oh my god, die, Genji!" So like immediately starts shooting him again. I'm like, dude. It's just like the most nonsensical thing. It's like, I killed my brother and I feel bad about it. I am your brother. Oh my god, die! It's just, what is happening?
I can't even kill right.
Oh man, it cracked me up. I was like, wait, I thought he was sad because he killed his brother, but his brother's alive, so his response is to kill him? I don't understand his reasoning. But yeah, so Hanzo, definitely, I'm comfortable with putting him at a B tier. He's an okay hero.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, how about Junkrat? What do you guys feel about Junkrat?
Love him.
He's Australian.
For one, yes.
He shoots grenades.
He's an absolute loony bin.
Oh yeah, he's not all there. That's for sure.
He's Australian.
That's also a thing.
He blows stuff up good.
Mm-hmm.
He's from the land down under.
Indeed.
Which is to say he's Australian.
He said crikey once or twice.
May or may not have a pet kangaroo. Australians have pet kangaroos, right? That's a
oh
thing
yeah.
down
Well,
there.
I mean, I'll have to ask Lady Spacaria, but yeah,
Yeah, well,
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
I'll send her a message.
I think that we know frighteningly little about Australians, given what the assumptions that we're making. That said, I mean, like Junkrat, if you're facing an enemy Junkrat and he's good at Junkrat, you're gonna have a bad time.
Mhm.
You're gonna walk into the bear traps. You're gonna get grenades to the face constantly. And oh my god, that rip tire, whenever they make it run up a wall and land on top of you when you're looking all around you, is one of the most annoying things in history.
Yeah, and here, she's ready to blow. It's like, oh no.
Yeah. Solid hero. I mean, like, he's another one of those projectile heroes, which means that, you know, he's going to have a little bit of an arc to his fire. I don't know. Part of me wants to put him like between Hanzo and Bastion. I think he's okay. He's not hard to learn by any means. I mean, like, he's, as a matter of fact, he's almost as straightforward as Bastion. You know, it's like, hey, where Bastion's all like, hey, you see that thing? Put some bullets in it. Junkrat's all like, hey, you see that thing? Blow it up.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's about as straightforward as they come, you know?
Now you got the ones that'll throw their bomb at your feet, launch you in the air, and blow you out of the sky like a skeet.
Yeah. Yeah. We've all been victim to that one. I call it the old Junkrat 1-2.
I did learn something last night, though. You know that, I think it's called Mayhem. It's where it's like really high skill and ultimate cooldowns.
Mhm.
You know how you can jump with his bomb?
Mhm.
It's on such a short cooldown that I was flying through the air by just repeatedly throwing my bomb down at my feet and blowing it up. It's like I was chasing after Pharaohs with it.
I don't think that's how physics works, but that's so much more entertaining.
It's so fun.
Oh, mercy me. That sounds great.
Yeah, you have a Junkrat blow himself into the sky and punch a Pharaoh in the face. It's like...
Junkrat also being one of those heroes that's like just, it is remarkably difficult to hit a Pharah with Junkrat. Yeah, just because, I don't know, his grenades don't fly that high sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, I made it a point to do it. It's like, I can do this now. I can fly too.
The skies are no longer safe for you. Now we get to everybody's favorite DJ turned freedom fighter, Lucio.
S tier just because that's my main. Like, pre-nerf Lucio was broken as hell. And now that he is, like, they nerfed him a lot, but he's still, like, super good.
He's still solid.
Like,
Like
yeah.
how he can be everywhere if you can't
Absolutely.
hit him.
Yeah, Lucio is a solid healer for sure.
I don't know if it's on the stream, but when we played Overwatch on here, I think we were on Helios, and I was playing Lucio, and I got knocked into the pit in the middle, and I just kept wall riding around the center of the pit, contesting, and then I come out of the pit and knock someone back into the pit and kill them. He's a really good hero if you know how to play him.
Mm-hmm.
I had another Lucio do that to me the other night. We were zipping around the walls trying to shoot each other, and he launched me off. I just skated back up and launched one of his buddies off instead.
The what's it called? The temple in Nepal is one of the most annoying maps to have to play against an enemy Lucio. Because
Oh, the one that's like in the middle of like a little. It has like a ring around it that you can like knock people into.
yeah, so it's basically like the point is right next to this giant abyss, and there's more than enough ways for that Lucio to get above you. So it's kind of frustrating.
You ever frontlined as Lucio, dear?
I've done everything as Lucio. Like,
Did you ever manage to play whenever they had that experimental mod on Lucio where whenever you go to ult, if you land on an enemy, it automatically knocks them out?
Oh,
I've done that before, and I'm upset that it's not a thing still. Or maybe it is a thing still. I don't know. I haven't played Overwatch really in a long time.
Mhm.
But that was like when I first got Overwatch when it came out. I was like, this is the hero that I'm going to get good at. And I ended up getting the wall riding achievement back whenever wall riding was like difficult to do. And you didn't just have to hold space down.
Yeah, like you do now. You just hold space down and you just wall
Yeah.
ride.
Mhm.
I think Lucio very easily an S tier. I mean, he's got a lot that he can do. He's got a knockback. He has excellent mobility. He's got area of effect healing, which he can buff. He's got what do you call it? He can actually buff his mobility too.
Yeah,
Add to
you
that,
can
Speed
flying with
boost.
that thing.
I'd say like the only thing is that his damage is a little weak sauce, but I mean like whatever. He's not supposed to be dealing damage in the first place. He's a healer, and his ultimate really good, just for like
I
a
can
brief
save a
moment.
team fight, no problem.
Yeah,
Like you pop that off and boost everyone's health. It's turn the tides.
oh yeah. So and
He's also like one of my favorite Heroes of the Storm character to play as because like he in Heroes of the Storm he's just so brain dead, but he's also just so good at like AoE heal and everything that he does in Overwatch. So he has a couple other things that he can do, but just a good person.
yeah. And I add to that, like here's the one thing that you want in a healer is you don't want him to be a target. And with Lucio, it is really hard for a good Lucio player to be a target. Yeah, because good luck. You know, like trying to shoot a Lucio that's in motion constantly is like trying to herd cats. You know, you're gonna have a bad time. So yeah, definitely, I'd say S rank on Lucio for sure.
I think one of my favorite interactions with Lucio, I was just wall running around the area waiting for the door to open. Ash was just like, "Do my eyes deceive me? Are those skates?"
I love spamming his voice. You know, whenever I have this voice line key bound, so that every time I knock someone off an edge, it just like hit the key on my keyboard, and he goes, "Why are you so angry?" I'm just like,
That's how you get tinnitus.
That is.
it's the same. I have the same thing going on with Baptiste, where every time I drop an immortality field and nobody dies, I'm like, "Thank you, Baptiste. Oh, you're welcome." I fucking love that voice line, man. I'm like, yes. But next up we have Mei, and as we know, Mei is Bae.
Arguably more hated than Genji.
Arguably more hated than Bastion.
Arguably the most hated.
At least they kind of nerfed her freeze.
A little bit, yes. I love how there was like a meme going around like what's it called? Shoot. it was like an Overwatch channel, and they were like, "Oh, Blizzard's is no stranger to making characters based off the devil. I mean, they have so many of them in Diablo. You can say that some of them in Heroes of the Storm kind of look devilish. You have Mei in Overwatch," and I'm like, I was like, "Yeah."
Well, you hear freeze, don't move, and then it's like, am I in the AoE? Yes, you're dead. No, you're still dead.
Yeah.
And then you have on your team, the Mei is just like, I'm going to do this thing where ice wall.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh, we can't get to the point now. Get rid of your ice wall.
Here's the reason why I think a lot of people hate Mei too, is that you always have that Mei player who, whenever you're trying to leave your spawn point, to start the game, it's like, oh, okay, like game start, they always put up the ice wall in front of the freaking door. You're just like, why are you like this? It's just...
It was funny the first 20,000 times. Stop now. You're reported.
I love the memes whenever a Mei freezes you, but she waits to headshot you.
Yes!
It's Rick with the gun to his head, like, do it, motherfucker.
I love
like the most tilting hero in Overwatch is Mei.
I'm like, bro, that is cold-blooded. Because she's an ice hero. You see, her gun makes
Anyway,
ice.
where are we ranking Mei?
D tier. Just get
On
it
the
out of
mercy.
here.
D tier for Mei. Just, I mean, gameplay wise, I mean, she's a high B. She's requires decent amount of skill, etc., etc. We hate her though, so D.
Does she require a decent amount of skill?
Yes, because firstly,
I'm pretty sure I've never seen a Mei do anything other than piss me off. I mean, it may just be biased at this point, but Mei's a piece of shit.
The range on her gun isn't that great, so you technically have to be closer than most heroes to do anything. Which is why it's kind of like, yeah, she requires a little level of skill. I mean, her icicle snipe, and I swear this kind of gets me, that there are players who, like, you can tell that they're Hanzo players who switch to Mei, and they're just like so good with Hanzo arrows that they can snipe you across the map with a Mei icicle. It's so annoying. But yeah, so like she's got like a ranged attack that's okay, but like for the most part we're here for the freezing. Like her gun will hold you in place, but the thing is, you almost have to not know that she's there for her to accomplish that. Because if she's within range to ice you, she's within range to get hit. So, she requires a little bit of skill. Yeah, she's annoying, but game recognized game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she puts herself in the cryo sleep for a few seconds and then runs off with full health. That's great.
Oh yeah, no, she's that's so fucking obnoxious. Next up, we have Mercy.
S tier.
S tier.
No conversation even needed for Mercy.
Nope.
It's sad that they changed her ult.
It's because
to be
of the
not
artwork.
Good.
It's always because of the artwork.
I got really confused. It's like, why did the artwork influence what her ult was? But I'm on the same page now. But yeah, it sucks that you have a bad ult now, where it was, I'm going to just bring my whole team back, have fun with that.
Her, healing and damage buffs are still just like...
Yes. You almost don't even have to be good as Mercy. You just have to hope that your damage is good as your damage, Like,
I had a Reinhardt with a pocket Mercy just like kill our entire team on his own.
I love it whenever I play Reinhardt and I have a pocket Mercy that's good, because I know I will never die. It is the most beautiful thing ever. I could almost charge in recklessly knowing like I'm good. She's got me. It's beautiful. It's a symbiotic relationship and I love it.
when you have like a good Mercy that doesn't just pocket one person,
Mm-hmm.
your like whole team is getting damage boosted and heals, and then if you have like just a pocket Mercy, like you said, you have like one person that you can just keep throwing at people, knowing that they're not going to die,
Yeah.
assuming that the Mercy's decent.
Yeah.
So
And
I mean, she's really good at keeping people alive, and then of course she can bring one person back, I think.
And she's got some pretty good mobility, like her glide is actually pretty good. Like if you need to get out of there, I mean, just look around, find your teammate that is the farthest away, and just immediately zip towards them. And you can also turn that into a super jump. So, dude, Mercy's good. And not to mention that like her bullets have the hit zone of a bus, so it's like.
She is goated with the sauce.
She is goated with the sauce, and according to the artist, she breaks it down sexual style. That said, that said, I do have to put this out there. I do believe that her skin game is strong. I own a majority of Mercy skins because I think they just look good. Like I have like the Atlantic All-Star skin, and it's one of my favorite skins in the game. I just think it's just really, really cool to look at.
Which Mercy? Best Mercy?
Which Mercy is also really, really good. Sugar Plum for the holidays. I mean, she's got some really good skins. Also, I love whenever I'm playing Mercy and I'm forced to go into the offensive. And like I said, her bullets have a giant hit zone. So it's really easy to just like just turn someone into a flat line with Mercy,
But her bullets don't seem like they do that much damage. It's like she's got one of those like ping pong ball launchers, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just like, yeah, the bullets are big, but they're doing damage as if you're just throwing ping pong balls at people.
Well, since their hit zone's so big, I mean, you don't even have to aim exactly at their head to get their headshot, which is the beautiful thing. And my favorite thing to do is just like I said, just like turn someone into a headline with Mercy and just immediately spam the voice line. Someone call the wambulance.
Always those just one voice line that's the most tilting voice line to hear.
Yeah, I love it.
That used to be I don't think it's really a thing people do much, but like for a while, a bunch of people were doing damage Mercy. It's like they're not healing anybody; they're going into the team fight.
Yeah, the battle Mercies
team and just. Yeah.
Have you ever seen like and this comes up in like Overwatch subreddits all the time, where the Ana for some reason intended to nano someone, they ended up nanoing the Mercy, and somehow that Mercy just went berserk. It is beautiful if you ever see one, but like it is frightening. What was I gonna say? There was something else about Mercy. I don't know. I think she's a good hero. It looks like we're skewing to the side that healers go higher.
Yes.
It could also be that we're all like support.
We're all support here.
Yeah, that too.
There may be a little bit of bias with that.
True.
I mentioned this stream to my buddy. Just like, a tier list thing, and all he had to say on it was tanks to support S tier, everything else F.
Yeah.
Well.
So speaking of support, next up is Moira.
I really like Moira. She's one of the ones I played a lot, just because it's like she's got a good mix of high healing and decent damage.
Oh yeah, and the orbs are can be so frustrating.
I love like just shooting those into a small room where it's
just like you're in a narrow hallway, and then she just like drops the orb, like, here, ponder my orb, and just. And you're just taking like that little bit of chip damage, and you're like trying to run away, but when you turn your back to her, she starts siphoning out your health too.
Mm-hmm. And you try to kill her, she's gonna blink out of existence for a little bit and just like go somewhere else.
But Moira is fun, and correct me if I'm wrong, I almost feel like this is exactly what Genji should play like, because I feel like people playing Moira are definitely a lot more ninja than Genji, the ninja.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna pop a black smoke and then like, oh, she's gone. And 3 seconds later, she's somewhere completely different, doing something else to somebody else.
Yeah, agreed. If there's one complaint that I have about Moira is that I feel like she should have a whole lot more Halloween skins than she does.
She should. There's a lot that they could do with her. Like her
She is
base style
awfully
is already
spooky.
creepy. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a spooky character. I just feel like that works, you know?
She's another menace in mayhem mode too, just because like her orb and her dash are on 2 second cooldown.
Yeah.
So like you shoot an orb, you blink out of existence, go somewhere else,
Shoot
Yeah.
another orb.
orb, then immediately blink, and like I held the point on my own against their entire team with her.
Yeah.
Just
While
have
waiting for
a
everyone to
room
come
full
back,
of orbs bouncing
just
around.
just filling the area with those. Like no one could hit me.
It's crazy, man. Like, there are some heroes that, like, if you know how to play them well, like, the enemy team is just going to have a bad time. And Moira is one of those. Because she'll do decent amounts of damage over time. She's going to keep your team topped off. And she is going to annoy the hell out of the enemy team with the orbs. And with just like her quick escape mobility, it's just ridiculous. I'd say Moira is like an A tier. Like, I don't know. I'm on the fence. Like,
Healing and her damage isn't very high.
yeah,
so
her
it's
damage isn't very
it's
high,
an
so
18, right.
it's kind of why I'm like probably top of A. Probably like maybe I could put her either in front or behind McCree.
Yeah, she's got a
That's
good
fair.
mixture of both, and she has her mobility to get in and out.
Mhm.
It's like she's not going anywhere, but
No.
she's not doing the most either.
Yeah. One of my favorites is up. This is Orisa.
Love Larissa.
Yes.
She's probably like right up there by Diva as like favorite tank to play.
Agreed.
Yeah, I
But
used to play her before the
not my
changes,
favorite.
but
I main Orisa. What was it? If I'm playing tank, I have two mains. It's either Reinhardt or Orisa. I normally start off as Reinhardt, but if it's like one of those things where it's like, oh, I'm never gonna get close to the opponent, I just switched to Orisa because I was like, okay, I don't need to get close anymore.
She's like Baptiste almost, where instead of providing a healing boost, she has good damage with her fire.
Mhm.
She has a decent shield that she can put up. She has, I think her alt click is an armor boost for her.
It's
So she's tanky.
yeah, it's kind of like not an armor boost, but what it is it's a knockback canceller. So like if something would knock you back, you just don't move. So things like, for example, Zarya's ult, which would pull you in, doesn't work anymore. Sigma's ult, which would lift you up, doesn't work anymore. Like a Lucio boop is completely negated. You know, stuff like that.
Yeah. And then, of course, her ult is basically Baptiste's ult, but
Yeah.
on the ground.
Yeah.
it's like a
And
new ult
tethers.
now. It's like just draw everything into you and charge up damage, then just explode.
Yeah. The one thing that I never want to see is I fear this is like a Bastion with a pocket mercy, well, like damage boosting him when Orisa ults. Because
Yeah.
that's just like, oh, I'm gonna be facing down two turrets, and they're all damage boosted. I hate this.
I was really thrown off whenever I learned that they changed her because I didn't find out until I started playing.
Mhm.
It was just like I expected to shoot my orb out that was going to tether everything, and instead I huck a javelin into one of them.
Yeah, like she used to have like the orb that
Like,
that,
oh.
that was like a gravity pull, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she doesn't have that anymore, which is so frustrating because I was like, that was my favorite thing. You know, like people would wander too close to an edge and I'd shoot the gravity. I mean, hell, the Elios well with
Yeah.
Orisa was
If
just
we
like,
go back to that hole, it's like she could suck the entire team into it, no problem.
yeah, it was wild. But now it's like, nah, javelin. And I'm like, I guess.
Yeah, like, you used to just be kind of sit back behind your shield and just go to work with your turret or your minigun. And now it's huck a javelin into the DPS and rush and twirling your staff and just go to town on some people.
It feels a little awkward, but I mean, I'm like, I'll take it. I think Orisa's still a solid hero. She's still a pretty solid tank. Haven't played her in Overwatch 2 yet, but like I look forward to it, I guess.
Love whenever a Reaper tries to go and melt you and you just spear him into the chest and stick him into a wall and just let it rip all over his head.
Good. Like you needed something to check that Reaper. Let's see. So next up we have what's that? Pharah.
I like that she references rocket jumping from TF2.
Yeah,
because she's like, I think she says something like rocket jumping. Who'd be stupid to do something like that?
Yeah,
it's something like that. It's just like way to throw shade at like your competitor.
Yes. I think that a lot of people who play Pharah don't always play nice, and they certainly don't play Pharah.
D tier.
Play fair. Like they don't play fair. They play fair.
D tier.
Okay.
Reaper.
She's hard to play. I will say that her mobility is kind of janky. Like I feel like Echo's just better Pharah because Pharah's a little difficult to control when she's in the air. Echo not so much. You kind of have to like keep an eye on like your I always call it like gas, because you run out of gas, you fall down. So you're going to have to keep an eye on your gas gauge. See like, okay, well, how much gas do I have left? Can I keep in the air, et cetera, et cetera. With Echo, it's just kind of like, hey, free mobility. You can fly wherever you want. With Pharah, it's kind of like, hey, it follows a really janky path of flight. Rockets are cool. They do a lot of damage. Not hit scan, so you're going to have to, like an arc. And the spread, the scatter shot is pretty okay. Ultimate's top notch, though.
There's two types of Pharah. There's Pharaohs, and then there's ground Pharaohs.
Yeah.
And ground Pharaohs are horrible.
Oh, yeah.
And regular Pharaohs are, I don't know how you play Pharah.
Yeah. And of course, Pharah being part of the fantastic combo of Pharah Mercy, a.k.a. Far Mercy.
Just infinitely flying around the air, shooting rockets down.
Shooting rockets while she's damage
you
boosted.
You never have like a soldier or anything that's willing to look up
for
10 seconds to shoot her out of the air.
Yeah.
It's just frustrating.
Yes.
Can you team rocket her if you just like huck an Orisa javelin at her when she's in the air? Will you just send her flying into the atmosphere?
Is that a thing that you can do now? Oh my gosh, I can't wait to try that.
Stratosphere, sorry. Yeah, I want to try that now.
Yeah, just like javelin the Pharah out of the air. That sounds awesome.
It's like the opposite of falling into a pit. If you fly too high, you die.
Yeah, send her out of the box.
They implemented a kill box in the sky just because of Orisa's new javelin.
It ends up being like a Smash Brothers kill box that once you reach it's just game.
You see the little twinkle.
Yes. So that's it. I mean, I'm okay with putting her in D. I think we are being biased because it's like I don't know how to play Pharah, so D. But I love playing Baptiste, so S.
Well, there's no bias here at all. Not a single bias that all of the support players are saying the supports are better than the carries.
Agreed. I guess we'll cover more of those as we get on with it. But Reaper is next, and I think Reaper is fun.
He edge boy.
He is an edge boy.
He's super.
He absolutely shops at Hot Topic.
He's super spooky and edgy.
Yes, he is an edgy boy. That Reaper. Like, what was it? Like, I feel like his MySpace screen name was like R34PER,
Like 4
R3 @ P3R.
Yes. Or something like that, like it's super edgy. He like draws pentagrams around it and stuff.
XX420 Reaper.
Yeah. Super edgy boy. I mean, like, as far as edgelords go, Reaper is pretty stereotypical. I think
He's
that
another tank buster.
he is another tank buster. He just does ridiculous amounts of damage if you let him. Given that his guns don't have like a real big range, I mean, like they'll shoot far, but it's kind of like if you're too far, they tickle, you know?
Yeah, they've got a wide scatter on them.
Yeah, so
Against tanks, it's like, yeah, you got a wide scatter, but you also got a wide target.
yeah, agreed. He does have like a lot of good mobility. He's got his teleports. He's got like his wraith form. So it's not like he can't get around. So like he can show up behind a tank or something. And also his teleport, whenever you have your Death Blossom ready to go, one of the best things, because you teleport above your enemy, drop down with the Death Blossom. What are they going to do? Stop you? Okay.
Yeah, you see one of them looking at you and your team and then go to teleport. You know something bad's about to happen.
Yeah. It's my favorite thing to do, just show up behind the enemy team while they're trying to block off my team and then just Beyblade my way in there. It's beautiful. I think he's fun. He does require a little bit of technical knowledge because you have to be closer. You have to know when you're good and when you need to get the hell out of there. And primarily, you want to bust the tanks. Like you do. The tanks are the healers. I mean, Reaper can deal with like a Mercy or a Zenyatta pretty easily, I'd say.
Yeah, he does have some good getaway too.
Mm-hmm.
He can go invulnerable for a little bit and get some speed boost.
That's right.
It's not he just goes there and then he's stuck.
Well, unless I'm the one playing him, because I'm famous for being like, all right, go ghost form, and then just like slam
Use your
into
escape to engage.
and then slam into a wall. I'm like, oh no, and I'm like turning around, I was like, where's the exit? Where's the exit?
Door stuck. Door stuck.
Help, we're dead.
Like, what's it called? Like the moment you come out of ghost form, you just turn around like, hey guys.
That's the life.
About that Death Blossom, that was just a joke. I'm sorry.
About that Ash Blossom, that Death Blossom.
Whoa. Wrong game there, buddy.
Yeah, we're talking about Reaper of the Cards. That's a Yu-Gi-Oh card. It's a really bad one, but it exists.
I was considering using that card.
Well, you just ruined his whole deck now by saying that.
Yeah, now because Bar doesn't approve, I'm gonna scrap that idea.
I don't know. Reaper better than Genji? What do you guys think?
Everyone's better than Genji, but well, except for Mei and Pharah. But yeah, I could say he's probably like up by Ash, maybe.
You know what?
I'd put him in B tier.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. I would even say probably even better than Bastion just because of his mobility. Yeah. So next up we have Reinhardt, who is my tank main.
He doesn't get S tier unless you can say 3 of his voice lines.
Let's see. Bring me another. My friends, what is all this standing around? And shoot, what's the other one? Like catchphrase.
I'm upset that you didn't go honor Justice Reinhardt. But yeah, he's eligible for S tier now.
Yes. I mean, Reinhardt is the stereotypical tank. He does, when you think tank, that's what they're supposed to do, Like, he creates space because the swing of his hammer moves enemies around. His charge will pierce a line through the enemy formation, His Earth Shatter, if you catch a few people, it's called an Earth Shatter. If you catch the whole team, it's called a Fatty Shatty. And, yeah, he's a lot of fun.
You say things sometimes that hurt me, Bard. Like, they hurt me a lot.
Well, I would apologize, but this is what it's called.
But when I first started playing Overwatch, when it came out, the people I played with, we had me and another guy as the designated supports, and then we had one DPS and one guy who played like exclusively Reinhardt, and he was one of those people that he got so good at Reinhardt that it's like, hey, there's a Pharah flying. We need the DPS to take it out. He's like, I got it. It just
Fire strike
strikes it and kills the Pharah. And it's just like, why do we even have DPS when we have Derek over here just wrecking face?
If there's one thing that I think that Reinhardt is missing, that if you could give it to him, it would make him the perfect character, is give him the ability to heal passively, like Brig.
I do see, like, in a lot of different games, like the big paladin-esque person does have like a passive healing ability.
Right.
Like in League of Legends, there's Garen, and if he's out of combat for X amount of time, he gets like a boost to his passive HP regen. And there's a couple other games that have like a similar mechanic to that. So yeah, I agree with that. He would benefit a lot from having like a passive regen.
I feel like a lot of tanks kind of do, like for example, Roadhog obviously does, and Sigma does kind of too. So I'm like, Reinhardt could benefit from this. I understand why they wouldn't do it, because technically his shield is technically, just a walking health bar for him,
Yeah.
and that regenerates. So giving him additional regeneration just at that point just starts to feel a little unfair, I guess. But all things considered, I'd say Reinhardt is definitely like an S tier.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good.
There.
Yeah.
Say again, he can frontline like no other.
Oh yeah.
You got a Mercy on, like he's not going anywhere.
No. Like a Mercy with a Lucio just running around nearby. He's just this Reinhardt's staying right here, bae.
Mercy in the back pocket and a Lucio on the wall. It's like it's...
So next up we have Roadhog.
So I said Diva and Orisa were like two of my favorite. Roadhog is by far my favorite tank to play because he's not a tank.
Yeah,
I don't care what you say. He's a DPS.
He's a stocky DPS. Yes.
Like if you can pull off his hook combo, which it's not hard, you kill 90% of the heroes in the game. He is a tank killer.
He is Australian.
He is Australian. He has a long range and short range attack.
He also has a pet kangaroo.
He also has a pet kangaroo.
He has a fondness for Pachimaris, which, if you guys don't know what that is,
if you don't have a fondness for Pachimari, then
yeah,
I mean, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, you're doing something wrong. Why wouldn't you? I mean, they're amazing.
But yeah, he's got a heal. He does just enormous amounts of damage. He's fat and can absorb bullets like no other. He's really good. S tier.
I agree. I think Roadhog is just a solid tank. He's just a solid character.
It's great if you have somebody on your team that can displace people.
Mm-hmm.
Like Orisa Javelin to chuck somebody towards the Roadhog and then them rip them towards them.
Yeah, that what do you call it? Whenever you're playing a support hero, like say for example Mercy, the last thing you want to do is get hooked by the Roadhog. And the thing is, isn't it weird whenever you're playing like a squishy hero how good they are at fishing you out of a crowd?
Mm-hmm.
It's weird, but yeah, I think Roadhog definitely solid character.
That hook snaking around the front line and grabbing you in the back. Like, it's just gonna happen.
It's like, well, you hook them and pull them close range, and his weapon is a shotgun. So it's like, oh, all of those pellets that would have maybe not hit you, they're like an inch from you now.
Yeah.
You're going to take all of this damage, and you're going to like it.
Yeah, and even if you do take damage, take a quick rip off the vape, and you're good to go.
That's right. You take the Roadhog vape. I never considered that, but yeah. Next up, we have Sigma.
I hate this guy so much.
Hey, Bard.
Yo.
Sigma nuts. Got him.
Got me.
I had to. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Guys, I gotta go.
No, that was actually the joke, because as you've seen, his weapon is just basically these little bouncy.
It's two like little hexagonal balls.
His little super. Yeah. So whenever he first came out, everybody's like, "Hey, everybody, Sigma balls." It was just like, damn it.
And he throws like a giant ball at you. This guy's just all about throwing balls at people.
I had a friend that like we would play Overwatch together sometimes, and one time he calls me up. He's like, "Hey man, you heard about this new the new meta that's forming around team composition wise? You're gonna have like a Sigma and a wrecking ball in the front line." And I was like, "No, I hadn't heard about it." I was like, "They're calling it Sigma Ball." I was like, "I hate you." I don't like this.
It just cuts to a picture of Bard fully clothed in a shower, just sitting with the water running on him. It's just crying.
just crying, like in the back you got like that one song going like, "Ooh, what you say? Ooh, that you only meant well."
It's never-ending torment.
But the reason why Sigma is frustrating is because he's kind of Reinhardt, except that he can position his shield in any direction.
He wants to be Reinhardt.
Oh, he wants to be Reinhardt so bad.
He's like trying to be Reinhardt, but he's just not quite there.
Yeah. If there is something cool about him, is he does have that ability where if you're shooting at him, he can activate the ability and it'll give him extra health.
Yeah.
So that's a cool thing. Wish Reinhardt had that. I understand why he doesn't, but I wish he did. Other than that, his ultimate's pretty good at getting people off the point, because he gravities them off of wherever, So yeah. It's pretty good at that. So if you're playing something like, I don't know, like just point defense, I mean, just are they on the point? Well, pick them up, just get them off of there. So
someone's annoying you, throw a rock.
Oh yeah, he does have the rock. I forget about the rock. But yeah, like, hey, is that Tracer being annoying? Just throw a rock at her. Just the whole rock. It's pretty good. He's got some pretty decent abilities. He's kind of beefy. He's Reinhardt light.
I would say B for balls.
Reinhardt, right? He has balls. He is very fond of playing Nibiru.
Yes. What's it called? I do. What was it? There was something about him that I wanted to say, and I can't remember. No good skins, as far as I know. I mean,
they're all kind of meh.
Yeah, they're all really meh. So he's okay. He's a decent character. Not as good as Orisa. So B rank sounds good. B for balls. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. If you're good at geometry, more good at geometry than Hanzo, you can bounce those balls off surfaces to hit your opponents where they're not expecting to get hit from, and that's fun.
I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say.
No, I think. Don't worry. I think of mine.
I think
there. Yeah, I think I know.
Next up, we have Sojourn. She's one of the new heroes that launched with Overwatch 2. What do you guys think of Sojourn?
I thought you said Soldier, the new hero of Overwatch 2.
It sounds very
What?
similar, yeah.
Soldier 77.
Sojourn is for the players that come from Call of Duty. More so than Soldier.
Yeah.
Like her sliding around a corner and just headshotting you is just, it's horrendous.
It looks like I haven't had the chance to play versus players. I've been playing against the AI ever since Overwatch 2 launched because I wanted to get used to everything. And Sojourn looks like fun, but I can see where Sombra's coming from. I think that her sliding around a corner just to cap you would be the most annoying thing.
I have
so
no
much
clue what this person even does, so it's all you two.
Imagine if you got Soldier 76 and Zarya and just combined them into a happy medium. That's what she does. Like her
Is there such a thing as a happy medium combining those two?
Kinda, because her railgun does gain charge, you know? And whenever it's fully charged, it fires off these plasma shots that are devastating. They just do so much damage, kind of like Zarya's gun does.
They punch through.
And she has aimbot.
Yeah, and she's got like the Soldier, what's it called, the hit scan going on. Soldier has the big mobility in that he can run quick. But Sojourn just like baseball slides to steal home, right? But here's the thing. At any point, you can cancel her slide and turn it into a super jump. So
yeah,
you got like... She's got a lot going on, and it looks like she's a lot of fun, but I can see how she would get really annoying really quick.
She's got a snare too. Like, yeah, the way her gun works, it's like it's like an assault rifle for a bit, and then it charges up, and then it's a fucking gauze cannon shot. And her ultimate makes it to where it's all gauze cannon shots.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because her ultimate just like gives her full charge the entire time, so it's just like, go to town.
It's like, it's like if they're accustomed to an FPS, it's like they are going to stomp your team.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. So Sojourn, this might be me because I haven't played her a lot and I haven't played against her a lot, but I'm willing to put her at an A, probably above Cassidy. But
who?
Yeah, your boy Matt Mercer.
Yeah, I think she definitely belongs high A somewhere.
Who's Cassidy?
So.
Huh? He is the artist formerly known as McCree.
Oh, McCree. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I definitely put her above him, just because the damage and just like how easy, and there's no kickback to the gun, and oh my god, like
it has a snare too,
and it has a snare, so just she good. And after we've covered Sojourn, now we go to Soldier.
Probably the best hero in the game. Really difficult to master. Can't really use his ult without having like a high skill cap.
Oh, I see. This is opposite day. We're saying things that are the opposite of what's true.
No. It's all 100% serious and sincere. That Soldier is like a super difficult hero to play, and it takes a lot of skill to play him. That's
anyway,
why I play
if
him.
you've ever played Halo, that's what Soldier is. Yeah, just get in there and shoot stuff.
Thought I'd try shooting my way out. Shake it up a little.
Also, hit the Grill Master 76 skin is one of my favorite skins in the entire game.
That skin is great.
Yeah, that skin is fantastic. I love that skin. What's it called? It's just wonderful. And I don't think the Soldier has a lot of good skins, but that one was just like, this is a masterpiece.
Yeah, that one in particular is definitely his best.
Oh yeah, no, that one's just like chef's kiss. This was wonderful. The one thing I like about Soldier is that it's okay. Well, firstly, his gun, no nonsense. Like point and shoot. That's what it does. His ultimate, you don't even have to aim. Just look in their general direction. You got them. his what's it called? His other ability is like, hey, look at this. Now you're running faster. It's wonderful. But also, he's one of the DPS, I think the only DPS hero who can heal you.
Oh yeah, he has this healing field.
Yeah, he has this healing field.
I completely forgot about that.
I I almost never forget about that because like it's almost like without fail, almost guaranteed. Every time that I decide to play DPS just on a whim, for some reason our healers are gonna be trash. So I'm like, hey, healer 76, come get some.
It's always fun when your DPS has the like most healing on team and has the gold.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, he's definitely one of the most, well-rounded.
Yeah.
It's like you're starting the game out. It's like he's got the heals, he's got decent mobility, he's got good damage, and
he's got the juice.
Yeah, he's got the juice, especially whenever you're playing Grillmaster 76, because then his healing field is a soda can.
Yeah, that's right.
It's wonderful. So yeah, like like if you've never played Overwatch, a soldier is a pretty good jumping on point, I would say. Maybe. I don't know. It's always it comes with that like a little bit of a hitch. It's like, well, you have to be good at shooting though. So I mean, you have to be good at shooting until you get 100% ult charge. Then you don't have to be good at anything.
I'd say he's probably a solid B tier hero.
Mm.
Yeah, it's like he's well-rounded. He's not particularly great at any one thing, but it's like he's.
I'm gonna put him just below McCr. No, wait. You know what? You said B. Yeah, he's probably above Ash. I want to say
he's probably by Reaper.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they were like best friends back in high school.
They were like best friends back in high school. So next up we have Sombra. What do you guys think about Sombra?
I don't really care for her.
Now, is that because she hurt you, or is that because
she has an interesting like skill set, but it just, unless you know how to play her, she just doesn't seem like she does much.
Yeah, like a good Sombra player will capitalize on like literally every single one of her skills. However, it is kind of one of those things where it's like you kind of have to know not just what she does, but you have to know what your opponents do. You have to kind of know when the best time to do a thing is. So you have to have a lot of metadata. Yeah.
And then like knowledge of like the health station is definitely good, because like if you're in a team fight and there's a health kit nearby that an enemy's probably gonna run towards, gonna go hack that. So it's like they go to run for that, they've just put themselves in a corner and they can't heal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but
so Sombra has the potential to do a lot. But here's the thing: I feel like she's one of those unsung heroes, where in order for her to do a lot of the times it's gonna feel like she's missing.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, gonna be off doing something somewhere or waiting for a chance to go in and do her thing.
Mm-hmm.
She is very squishy.
Oh yeah, yes she is. I think Tracer still is the squishiest hero, but Sombra is not far behind. Because I'm pretty sure Sombra's HP sits at 200 and Tracer's like 150.
Which I mean, she does have invisibility and her teleport thing, which
right.
is a good kind of offset for that. But
it's super easy to like crap on the Sombra player because they're not doing anything. However, they're probably doing more than you think. The only thing is half the time you can't see them.
Yeah, and hacking everybody's abilities at like a crucial point in a fight. It's like, again, that's one of those things that very easily turn the tides of things, but
yeah,
they have to, again, know when that point in time is, otherwise it's going to be completely wasted.
Yeah, so I would put her down probably like below Doomfist just because of the learning curve on her.
Yeah, it's like you said, unless you have all that data,
yeah,
like you're not gonna be the most effective at too much of anything.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it is what it is. You play Sombra whenever you want to go in and play competitively and just like mess with your opponent. You don't play her because you want to log on to have a good time.
Yeah, it's disrupting and opening your teams, picking up the slack in a lot of cases.
Exactly.
Feels
Yes.
like,
It's so you're generating advantage for your team. You need to be in a position where your team's
They capitalize
smart
on
enough to
that.
capitalize that. Yes. Otherwise, you're doing a lot for no reason. So next up we have Symmetra.
She was originally marketed as a support. I think they changed her to a DPS.
Yeah.
She still doesn't. She's one of the heroes that she just doesn't seem like she fits in Overwatch. Like she's got a skill kit that's just so far out there, and it just doesn't seem like it's supposed to do what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, it's like
So-
you have one that again, portal wise is like they can get you up to the point. It's like you're trying for that final push, and it's like one drops one by the spawn point and puts it somewhere hidden closer to the point. It's like it can help with the push, but
Yeah, and like her ult is good, but it's just like I don't know. Her skills just don't seem to like mesh well together for what they do. And that's when she was a support, it was like every support heals or gives armor or something, and you don't do any of that.
you put down turrets that melt things, and you have a portal that
Yeah.
most people are going to point facing off the map.
Yeah, and that's the greatest thing. You just keep seeing like the kill feed that your teammates are dying from environmental damage. It's like, yeah,
The sim turrets arguably can do a lot more damage than the Torbjorn turret, though. Because, like, the Torbjorn turret can only be placed down on a flat surface. You can stick a Symmetra turret literally anywhere.
Yeah, you rig up the backside of a doorway with those things, and that's just like
Yeah.
you're getting melted if you walk through it.
Exactly. And if you were taking damage beforehand and you're trying to retreat through a door that has those stupid things on it.
the Eldorado like pickup truck of doom, where you just have a Torbjorn turret, a Bastion, and then the headlights are just Symmetra turrets.
Yeah, battleship formation, as they call it. Yeah. Or pirate ship or something. It's something like that, where you put like the Bastion and the Torbjorn and the Symmetra turrets on something with like an Orisa shield in the front of it.
Just like horrible.
Yeah,
Reinhardt mounted on the hood.
it is the worst. But yeah, I mean,
At least they can be one shot though.
I see what Dare's saying, that she's not, she feels like she doesn't belong in Overwatch almost. The one thing that's kind of got me on her is that I feel like she plays like a really weird role where she's almost like a Torbjorn character, like more like causing damage indirectly, but at the same time her beam weapon will do more damage to shields, so it's almost like she wants to play as a tank buster. So she's at an awkward middle ground. It's kind of weird.
She's trying to do too many things at once, and it's one of those where if she had a more focused kit, she'd be really good.
Yeah.
But
everyone
she's
knows
trying
you
to
send
be
Kit to the
like-
graveyard, and then you send Nerval, and then you do your Tri Brigade play. That's how it works.
No, stop.
Okay.
We don't. It's not Yu-Gi-Oh.
Well, that's what you said around Sigma Balls. That didn't make any sense. I was just bringing it back. But yeah, no, I 100% agreed. Symmetra's all over the place. She can do damage. She can do a lot of damage, but it's just she's not focused enough.
Yeah, I'd say probably C tier by Doomfist and them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, we
Yeah,
have
just hurts are a menace.
Torbjorn. We were just talking about Torbjorn.
The old Torbjorn was the best Torbjorn. I don't like his new ult. I don't like that he doesn't have his armor anymore.
I was very confused. It's like I got my turret up. It's like I'm gonna amp this shit, just like mow them down out of that choke point it's pointed at. It's like nope, I'm just gonna
It was
spew lava everywhere. Apparently, okay.
Yeah.
great. Just being able. Well, it was like it was like TF2 because you had like a low level turret, and if you hit it enough, it would become a bigger turret, and then you could
Yeah,
ult it and make it a bigger turret.
that's what I was
And
expecting, but no, they changed
Yeah,
the
that's right.
lore.
You could level up your turret before, but
Mhm.
then they decided, oh, Team Fortress 2 did that. We hate them, so they changed them.
Mhm. She can still, his turrets are still, they do a lot, but
They can, absolutely. You
you put
put
them in a good point.
Yeah, and if you put them far away enough so that they can see and shoot, but like so that it's inconvenient for your teammates to chase them, you know, it's just it's a nightmare, especially if you're presently engaged in a fight, so you can't pay attention to it right away, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Torbjorn is a nightmare in those scenarios. Also, his lava, you know, his ultimate, pretty good. You know, like it's excellent whenever your opponent or when your the opposing team is trying to walk down a narrow path to get to you. You just like throw lava on the floor and just make it impossible for them to move forward or retreat. It's beautiful.
Does a lot of damage.
Oh, it does so
Sits
much
there
damage.
for a long time too.
And imagine if you throw it down on the ground so that now they're stepping in it and they're taking all that damage from that, and you have a turret active.
Yeah. It's like I had one just like douse the truck in lava. So it's like we all had to run off it, and then they just swarmed the thing.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. Like, it definitely gets your opponents off of wherever you want them to not be,
Yeah.
and in the best case scenario, it melts them. Also, I like that Torbjorn's voice line says, "You're making a chicken out of a feather." It's beautiful. Also,
Love
Santa
them.
skin.
Yes.
S- s-
He has like Gimli energy, and
He
I
has
love
big
it.
Gimli energy. Yes,
Gimli energy.
I love it. Which I guess that would make Hanzo Legolas.
Build him up, break him out.
It's beautiful. But yeah, I mean that's all I got on Torbjorn.
it's probably was B for Torbjorn.
B for
I don't know.
Torbjorn. I'm tempted to put him above Reaper and Soldier because he's got like a little bit more of a technical thing that you could do to just gain more advantage off of him.
Yeah,
He
you
has been
can
more
go on
controlled.
Hollywood and then place your turret on that
Mhm.
one like platform that goes up and down, and then just watch it kill everyone and get play of the game.
Yeah, a lot of Torbjorn play of the games result whenever he's knocked out, but his turret is just doing work. You know,
Yep.
it's wonderful. Next up, we have the face of the game, the mascot herself, Tracer.
She got her booty back.
She done got her booty back. After Bootygate, they decided, yeah, we're just gonna bring it back.
Nice.
Yeah,
They didn't learn. They didn't learn.
or they decided they don't care. They're owned by Microsoft now. You know, like haters gonna hate. Yeah, so Tracer is fun. I think a lot of it. There's a lot to be said about the fact that a lot of that most of the heroes are designed around the way that Tracer functions. Like I remember seeing like some YouTube videos where they're interviewing the people who designed Overwatch, and they said the very first character we designed was Tracer, and basically we worked all of the heroes to kind of function based around the way that she functions, so that they felt like they were in the same world basically, and they so basically from that focal point they built the entire roster, and I think that there's a lot to be said about that. I also don't have any more to say about that.
I was gonna say I don't really have much to say about her other than artwork. A.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean she's instantly recognizable. You know, she
She got booty.
He brings the cavalry.
she brings the cavalry. which
has a completely and totally accurate English accent.
yeah, 100% accurate. And if you've read the Overwatch comic books, which those exist, she actually stole her cavalry line from Torbjorn.
So she's also a thief.
So she's
Also
also a
stealing
thief.
from the Swedes.
So I think Tracer, like, very solidly, if for no other reason than, just her recognizability and stuff like S, you know. She can be kind of annoying. Her moves are pretty decent. They do stuff. I mean, point and shoot mostly. There's a bomb move. Her teleportation's actually pretty cool, Her time rewind, pretty decent, like get your health back.
Teleport him into the team, drop a bomb, and just rewind out.
It's beautiful.
Or be like me and rewind, drop the bomb, realize that rewind's still on cooldown, die.
Or be like me, like what's it called? Rewind to stop myself from falling off an edge, only to land exactly where I was a second before and walk off the same edge. Oh, I hated myself for that.
Support life.
I'm like, I hate that so much that I did that. I'm so happy nobody got to see it, but then you can do the thing now where you can log in to watch a replay of the game, and you can choose the POV that you choose to view from. So, whoever wants to watch me do that stupid crap can just log on to the game and be like, oh, look at this Tracer walking off the edge. So next up we have Widowmaker.
The evil Tracer.
Basically evil Tracer, yes. If what's it called, Tracer is the Charizard of Overwatch, then Widowmaker is the Blastoise.
I feel like you're trying to make some form of innuendo with that, but I don't know.
No, it's just kind of like they're both instantly recognizable. They're kind of the face of the game. Tracer, like red and blue versions. You had Charizard on the face of one, you had Blastoise on the face of the other.
She's French.
They're working on opposite teams, so like, whereas Tracer is a member of Overwatch, Widowmaker is a member of Talon, which is the evil organization in the Overwatch lore. So
he's not trying to say Widowmaker squirtles on her Jigglypuff.
Damn it.
That's what I thought he was trying to say, Sombra. I'm
not
glad
at
that
all.
Somebody said it.
Look, it is no mystery
Pardon his artwork.
There is no mystery that your friend the Bard enjoys artwork. However, that is not at all what I was trying to get at. And, I guess, it's easy to see where you guys extrapolated that from, but yeah.
Look, Bard, I'm just saying, if we come back to the artwork on the next one,
Presently, I'm not
if we
looking
come
at this.
back to the artwork on the next one, then that confirms a lot of things, Somber.
It's Winston. That took me a second. Like, what are you talking about? The next, I was like, oh god. Okay, but so yeah, I mean, I think Widowmaker's cool. I can't play her to save my life.
She's a high skill cap hero.
Oh, she is a high skill cap hero. Yes, absolutely. If you're a good player, I mean, it's just basically you log on, you click heads, and you collect that play of the game. This is me. I feel like
this is me.
I feel like her ultimate is extremely underwhelming.
It's a better version of Hanzo's arrow, but Hanzo's arrow is also not his ultimate.
Yeah.
So I can agree with that.
Yeah, that's just. I feel like maybe like a Soldier 76 thing, except you get one shot. Make it count.
Yeah, reveal all the enemies and then give her one bullet that will just instantly destroy or instantly headshot one person.
Yeah.
Add something onto it.
Yeah,
I mean, it is very nice. It can be very nice.
It can be, yeah. But the thing is, for such a spicy character, that ultimate is very bland.
Yeah, it's like you gotta already have a decent skill cap to get to actually be effective with her.
Right.
It just feels underwhelming.
Like if ultimates were spices, hers would be flour. It's just. you're getting nothing out of this.
I'd say that she's probably still an A tier though.
I mean, I'm inclined to agree. For one reason only, I think that second to Mercy, she probably has the best skins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would.
You know, yes, but I mean, like, also.
I'll back him up on that one.
So there's that. I mean, like, because, for example, like, my favorite skins on characters go like this. It goes Mercy, Widow, Reinhardt. I think Reinhardt has some of the coolest skins, too.
I heard the W and I was like, he's going to say Winston, and I'm going to just be like, no. Mercy, Winston, Reinhardt.
Winston has some cool skins, too, though. He really does. My personal favorite is the one where he's on safari. I think that's hilarious because he's a gorilla.
So now, Bard, what do you have to say about Winston?
Excellent art.
He's okay. Yeah, D tier. Don't want to think about that.
As a tank, maybe this is just me, but like he feels a little harder to play effectively. His shield.
You jump, you throw your shield down, and then you zap people.
His shield compared to the other tanks is actually kind of frail. His jump does a pretty decent amount of splash damage, sure, but it's on a cooldown, so if you land in an enemy team, you need to find a way to get the hell out of there.
But he's monkey.
He's monkey.
He's monkey.
His gun just basically tickles you. I mean, it doesn't do a lot. If there's one thing that I like about Winston is his ultimate. I think his ultimate is just bananas.
Yeah, there's the joke that I was waiting for.
But no joke though. I mean, like, I do think that his ultimate's great. I mean, you're just like 1 second you're doing what you can to keep your team alive. Next second you're going ape shit. It's beautiful.
Yeah, there's another one.
I mean, he's the kind of guy that, like, for example, you're not going to engage your opponent head on with Winston. You're going to be employing guerrilla tactics.
Each time you say another pun, he's going down the list. So we're at like a C tier.
We're gonna have to make another tier if you keep this up, Bard.
Oh, damn it, that's beautiful.
He's like trying to think of another one.
I know.
I'm all out of fuel here. Okay, enough monkey business. Let's get to...
Okay, D tier. Winston's D tier because of you.
D tier for Winston. Oh, this sucks. This is... Wow. So, Junker Queen.
I don't know who Junker Queen is.
New tank. I've seen one artwork, and it was by I don't remember who did it.
He is Death by Snoo Snoo.
Yeah, I think it wasn't Logan Cure. It was like Dandan Fuga or somebody. Anyway, the thing is, Junker Queen is awesome. She is basically like the redefinition of what a tank is. So like in Overwatch 2, they decided to make tanks more kind of like a displace your opponent as opposed to sit there and absorb damage, right?
He's a bruiser.
And that's what Junker Queen does. So it is wonderful. So she has like a shotgun that's also an axe. And what is it that she throws knives, and the knife is on like a magnet, right? So if you throw a knife and it impales an enemy, you can activate the magnet and pull them towards you Roadhog style. So
best thing is you see it on your screen whenever you get stuck with it. You see the knife sticking out of your chest.
Yes.
It's like, be prepared for what's about to happen.
Yeah, and like unlike Roadhog, a lot of the times if you pull them into you, you're not gonna like one-shot them. I mean, Junker Queen's shotgun is a little weaker, right? She does have a giant axe swing though, so I mean, like you can impale them, pull them for you and towards you, and that gives you enough time to wind up the axe swing. So I mean, it's just boom, and it inflicts bleeding damage, and
Yeah.
additionally, she has a passive heal that works whenever she does melee damage. So it's just all around. And can we talk about how cool her ultimate is? It's basically she does one quick like Reinhardt dash forward, right? But she activates the magnet that she has on her and it picks up piles of junk so that as she's dashing forward, it's in a hurricane of junk and it's doing damage to everything that it touches. It's wonderful. I think Junker Queen's an S tier. That is just amazing.
Yeah, and with that passive healing is like if she's in your team, she is not going to die.
No.
It's like she is going to be very difficult to deal with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you're just smacking people and you're just doing like the Bee Gees. You staying alive, man. So I put Junker Queen at an S class. I think she's just a cool hero.
Yeah, I think she definitely belongs up there. So if you have one Russia point, it's like it's not going to be fun.
No. Yeah, no, it's not going to be
Especially if the healer is nearby, because she's definitely not going to go anywhere then.
No, yeah. So Junker Queen is cool. And additionally, I want to say this. Her intro cinematic was actually pretty baller. I freaking loved it. It's like Mad Max in Overwatch. It was wonderful. Which, you know, as I've said before, I actually do like their cinematics a lot. And yeah, you know, like my favorite one used to be Honor and Glory, which was the Reinhardt one. And now it's kind of like a toss up. It's either that one or it's what's it called, Junker Queens, and it's just cool.
Yeah, they do have some really good ones. I mean, it's not that a lot of games. It's like League in them. It's like you can not like the game, but it's like
Right.
You gotta give them credit for some of the cinematic stuff that they pull off.
That's right, because League is another one that's just like, holy cow, man! Like these, like I don't play League because I'm trash at it, right? But I love their cinematics, and you know, just like off the top of my head, for one, the KDA one was, yeah, the Star Guardian one was really cool. There was one. Like the Jinx
Giants video is good too.
Oh yeah, the Giants video was really, really good. You know, it's just like you can tell. I'm like, these guys are putting a lot of effort into these cinematics, and it's awesome. Overwatch, same thing. A lot of the times though, they tend to stick more story plot. Oh, Legends Never Die from League of Legends, fantastic, love it. But yeah, Overwatch kind of doing a lot of the same thing. And here's what pisses me off: I keep writing letters to Konami, be like, do this for your archetypes, you fools. Why are you not doing this? This is a great idea. You get any idea. Anyway, Zarya.
And Konami's just like, I don't know who you are. Please stop. This is a cease and desist.
Exactly.
They send you back a picture of Kaiba calling you a great duelist.
Yeah. I would surprise. But what's it? Zarya is next. What do you guys think about Zarya?
She is another one of those people that breaks that mayhem game mode.
Yeah.
Her shield never goes away. It's
No.
like, she's not going anywhere. I was on the point with another Zarya. We realized we couldn't kill each other and couldn't die. So we both just crouched, stared up in the air, and started firing mortars. And it's like we were getting random kills and assists from them raining down.
Oh, that's wonderful.
That was great.
I like Zarya. I like having a Zarya whenever I'm playing Reinhardt because the Zarya bubble just keeps you alive a lot longer. You know, I do feel like the Zarya bubble lasts a lot less than what I think it should. You know, like a lot of the times I'm like, I'm bubbled, I'm fine, but then you know, next thing I know, I'm like, why am I taking all this damage?
Yeah, it's pretty short.
Yeah,
you do get a nice boost from the damage that it gives your gun.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so like a fully charged Zarya is terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see that pink bubble is like, do not shoot.
Don't shoot her. Stop.
You're not gonna break it. Trust me.
Whenever I was a new Overwatch player, that drove me crazy because I was shooting her because I thought it was like a Reinhardt shield that you could burn. No, it is not. It is a categorically different thing. Don't do that.
You are spooling up the gun.
With all that said, I think her ultimate's really, really good, and it's got a lot of utility. I think ultimate wise, it is fantastic. If you catch your enemy team slipping, oh, it's beautiful. Like there's nothing better than catching your entire enemy team in a Zarya ult, only to be met with a Diva bomb or a Hanzo arrow.
Or a Junker Tire or a Feral ult or anybody. It's got a big AoE.
I mean, exactly. If there was if there was a definition for just like assist kill, that is what the Zarya ult is. It is just beautiful. So I think that for one thing, strength wise, Zarya is up there. Utility wise, Zarya is up there, and just just all around, I think she's a good tank. She definitely needs somebody playing a main tank on the same team, though, because I feel like just as a solo tank, she feels a little awkward. Maybe it's different in Overwatch 2. I don't know. I haven't played it. But in Overwatch 1, as a solo tank, it was kind of iffy. But like if you had Zarya and like Reinhardt or Zarya and Sigma, it really, really good,
Yeah. She's kind of one of those ones that's a bit of a weird cross-up. I mean, she's got her brief invulnerability from her shields, and she can put shields on allies, which can really help in a pinch. Or if someone's pushing in, it gives them that little brief moment of soaking up more bullets.
Yeah.
But it's like, just tanking on her own. Like, once that bubble's gone, though, it's like, she's got a lot of health still.
Yeah.
It's not as big of a nuisance as a lot of the other tanks can be. But
true. Yes.
She can be a problem if you let her build up her weapon.
Yeah. So, I agree with you. So I would put her at an S tier. I mean, like a good Zarya player will be a benefit to their team for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just if people know what you're doing and are smart enough not to shoot your bubbles, then it's like she can fall off a little bit just because she's not getting that damage because her gun's doesn't do too much from the get-go.
I feel like like her and
Most
Junker
aren't smart enough for that though. So
it something just hit me because I put her up on S class next to Junker Queen. I was like, oh, death by Snoo Snoo. Here we
go. We got Snoo Squad up there in S tier.
Snoo Squad. But moving on, and this is actually the penultimate hero because I just realized that this tier list didn't have Kiriko, which is the newest healer. But what do you guys feel about Zenyatta?
He is good one. I like Zenyatta.
I have fun with him.
Yeah, my wife mains Zenyatta, and there's something to be said that the greatest Overwatch player ever to be recorded, which is Jonak, was a Zenyatta main. Like everybody hails Jonak as like, hey, he is Mr. Overwatch. This guy is the best player in the world, and his main was Zenyatta. So I mean,
yeah, he's got decent heal with his orbs, his Discord orbs. Like you can shred somebody with them, but like just a charged shot with your orb attack. It's like you hit somebody in the head, they're probably gonna die.
Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna cap some fools with Zen Man, which is weird because he's supposed to be a pacifist. I mean, he's a monk.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if someone's chucking a solid metal orb straight into your cranium,
it's like, I will send you to meet the Iris in person. It's just like,
I'm simply setting up an appointment.
That said, Zen is another one of those characters who has really good skins. Just like really good skins, like the baseball player Zen, the cultist Zen, the Christmas one where he's Nutcracker Zen. Yes,
that one's horrifying.
he's just really, really good.
Cracking walnuts on her forehead.
Yeah, he's like, hey, catch these nuts. We're back here again.
No, Bard.
We're full
No.
circle.
We've come full circle. Anyway, so Zen, I mean, as I don't like to play Zen for reasons, and the main reason is that he's slow.
He is very slow.
He is super slow, and that bugs me.
Gotta use that ult to get that little bit of movement speed to get up to the team fight.
Yeah, and that's right. And his ult is just really, really cool too, because like again, we call him back to GOAT format whenever it's 3 tanks, 3 healers, which is the way that they played it. And the healers that they would go with were always Zen, Brig, Lucio, because all of them have that ultimate, which will just cap off your health. It'll just push it to the max. So,
And he doesn't have to stay on the person to heal them either. It's
Oh,
like they can kind
no.
of do their own thing, and he can just chuck a ball at them and for them to carry around, and they can just do whatever they're doing.
yeah, that's right. So I mean, Zen, really solid hero. I mean, like I'm gonna put him at the bottom of S because I don't like how slow he is. That is the one hang up I have about Zen. But yeah, otherwise I think Zen is a really, really good character.
Yeah, he's got some. I think he has some pretty strong passive healing too now.
Oh, really?
I believe they added that path.
Okay, so that brings us to the last character, which again is not on here, but Kiriko is the newest support hero. She's a kitsune girl.
I've seen her a couple times. I can never tell what she's doing.
So
This is
what was that?
this is where Bard's like, I really like the artwork of Kiriko.
I
It's
had-
really artworky.
Surprisingly, haven't seen any, but that all of that said, Kiriko has kind of a weird build where she's part Genji, part Zen. She's what is it? A little bit Baptiste too, and a little bit Mercy. I mean, she's just a hodgepodge of all of them basically. So her primary fire is kunai knives. So she's doing the Genji thing, where she's throwing like shuriken at the opponents. She can do the wall climb the same way that Genji and Hanzo can. She's got some healing talismans that she chucks at opponents in the same way that Brig would throw like a health pack. Or like Zen would do a Zen orb, except that instead of staying stuck to that what's it called, ally, it'll do like a short burst of healing and then they're back to normal. Let me think. What am I missing? Her
She
ultimate.
has a ball that she throws that does like healing around it too, I think.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's kind of like an Ana, what's it called, grenade.
Yeah.
Yeah, where like if you throw it around your allies, it'll do like a short burst of healing to both of them. And
She can blink around allies too,
that's
sure.
true. That's very true. She can teleport to allies, much in the same way that Mercy kind of flies towards allies. So like if they're within your range of vision, if you could see them, you can teleport to their side. And last thing is her ultimate, which correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like it's almost like a Baptiste amp matrix, except that when your opponents follow when your allies follow the path of it, they just get like stat boosts, so they do more damage.
I don't know about that one.
I'm also
Maybe.
uncertain.
Hold on, let me pull it up. Kiriko Ultimate Overwatch. Here we go. We got a website here that looks sketchy as fuck, but I'm on it. Let's see. Protection, Swift Step. Which one's the ultimate? Aha, Kitsune Rush. Summon a fox spirit that rushes forward, accelerating the movement, attack speed, and cooldowns of allies that follow its path. Okay, so it speeds up your cooldowns. So it does that. It accelerates your movement speed and your attack speed, so you can attack faster, and your cooldowns are on a shorter cooldown. So just take advantage of that.
Sounds pretty good.
This sounds pretty good to me too. I think Kiriko's pretty all right. I haven't played her much, so I mean, gameplay wise, I can't say if she's okay. But based on the way that the abilities look, I mean, like I said, it's a mix between Genji and a bunch of other characters. So like based on my enjoyment of those characters, I can extrapolate that I might enjoy playing Kiriko.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She did Fox person out of 10.
Fox person out of 10. She also in her cinematic intro eats a lot of donuts apparently. I don't know. There it felt weird that it's like I'm a donut delivery person in Japan. I'm like, is that a thing that they do over there?
Jelly-filled donuts are my favorite.
And they're rice balls like from Pokemon.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Jelly-filled donuts are my favorite. Nothing beats a jelly-filled donut.
So
For 28 years, I thought those were what jelly donuts looked like in Japan.
nope.
Turns out they're rice donuts. They're not even jelly filled.
So if I were to give Kiriko a ranking, I would want to put her at S because, you know, that seems to be what we did with the healers. But I would put her at A simply because I haven't played her enough to know if I like the way that Kiriko plays.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So
apparently she is like, just with her teleporting around, is like she's a good Kiriko. Is like she can keep your team going.
yeah.
Like, really well.
Yeah, kind of like a Mercy can, you know, like if a Mercy dashes from critical health to critical health to critical health, you know?
Mm.
Yeah.
Just I think Kiriko is like it's a blink, like she's from this spot to that spot. Not like
That's right.
where you can shoot her out of the sky like Mercy.
That's right. Like Mercy still has to physically fly to where they are, and you're like, okay, well,
Yeah.
just shoot Mercy down. But Kiriko's all like, oh, I'm over here now. Whoop, and if I'm not mistaken, it's actually on a relatively low cooldown too, so it's kind of like yeah. So yeah, she's cool. I like her. You know.
Yeah, she goes up there.
Now here's the thing that bothers me about Kiriko and by extension Hanzo and Genji. So lore wise, the Overwatch team has gone on record to say that all of these characters are, you know, normal humans with like technology and stuff. And they say magic doesn't exist in the Overwatch world, but Hanzo's arrows firstly, Genji's like sword secondly, and Kiriko's ultimate where she summons a fox spirit that somehow powers up your allies and she appears to heal you with magic.
Yeah, it's science.
Yeah.
What the hell kind of science are we doing here?
I mean, technically, it's not magic. It's going more of a religious standpoint. It's like these are spirits and actual religions and Asian religions and stuff.
It's like, okay, Blizzard.
So discounting it is not real, Bard.
I guess not. But that said, I mean, here's our list. What do you guys feel about it? It seems like we like more characters than we dislike. And I'm going to take a strong stance here and say that the ones that ended up in the C and D tier is just because we hate them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Except for Winston, which I feel like he was unjustly put there. Winston did nothing wrong.
No, you did.
Yeah, Winston didn't do anything wrong.
Winston did do it. You
everything wrong.
Oh man, I mean, it's just something monkey business. I don't know. I'm out of fuel with that one.
Ambe. All right, there we go.
But yeah, you know, like Harambe, yes.
Too soon.
That happened in 2016.
Too soon.
It'll always be too soon.
Okay. Was it 2016? Was it 25? It doesn't matter. Anyway, but with that, I think that that is our show for today. So thank you everybody for watching. I saw so many of you out there. I kept glancing back and forth to the chat. I didn't get to say hello to a lot of you because I'm in the present tense podcasting and doing other things. But I want to say hello
Your
to
words in real.
Yes. So I want to say thank you to, we saw Awkward Alien Kayla was here, Sock Goblin, I saw King of Canadian Hill, I saw Brother Gamma, I saw Lord Mordor, I saw, who am I missing? Help me out here.
I think that may have been that, everyone. I don't remember.
And I want to thank Somber for being on this live stream with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Like I figured, like at the moment we said we want to do some Overwatch stuff, I was like, I know a guy to call. I know.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I know a guy. He probably has some strong opinions about this game, and opinions that that all of us seem weirdly in tune with. I mean, like,
Yes.
it's like anytime a healer came up, like S class. It's
When the DPS came up, we had nothing but slander.
like, a soldier 76 sold me a fake lottery ticket once. I took it personally. But so yeah,
From that day forth, I knew all DPS was bad.
all DPS is bad, people. We can't trust a guy who can't decide what his name is. McCree, McLeod, Cassidy.
I won't be satisfied until the hamster has a pink plastic ball skin.
Like a pink, like just a regular hamster ball.
Just a regular hamster ball. I want to see that tearing through the streets.
Yeah, but yeah, that's our show. Thank you everybody for tuning in, and we will catch you next time on the Nevermore Nerds podcast. I think next week we're doing the anime intro quiz featuring Miss Creepy Tales and Pimp Demon. Pimp Demon was also here. Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, next week we're doing that. So tune in. Try to guess anime theme songs with us. And
One Piece is always the answer.
One Piece is always the answer, according to Dare, who got that one right, like miraculously.
I think it's just because I'm good.
Sure. But
Like if we look back, it's I let MCT win.
We will go back and count again and see if that is in fact the truth. But once you join the collective, you can leave Nevermore. I will catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.